Welcome to a podcast for nerds, the show where two dudes who met as kids discuss our journey with all things nerdy as well as life as we near our 30s. I'm Cody.
And I'm Dakota, and I actually am 30 now.
Wow.
So
Humble
he's
brag,
still
huh?
nearing. I don't know if I'm bragging.
He's the senior of the podcast, and I'm the child.
I mean, it is kind of true that of the main group, well, Drew's the oldest, but
Is he?
Yeah.
He is, right?
but of
Is
the
he,
group
is he
that
31? Yeah. No,
no,
it'll
he'll be 31
next April.
Yeah,
Is it April?
It's March or April.
It's one of those.
He's very early in the year. He's like Nate. Nate will be 30 in April though.
Nate will be 30.
Nate's
in
the
April.
youngest of the main group.
I feel like that's hard to believe.
Isn't it? It's
Yeah.
always been hard for me to believe.
Nate does not feel like the youngest.
And I'm the oldest other than Drew.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But barely. Dakota's October, I'm November, Shelby's December. We're all like stacked up like that. Yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We just last weekend, 1 week ago from today, we were coming home from Youmacon.
Yes, sir. I had
And-
that. Oh, the ever familiar post-con depression.
You had it?
Just a little bit. It hit me more on Monday,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it was.
Did you work Monday?
No.
Oh, me
I actually
neither.
ended up not going back to work until Thursday.
Oh, wow. Because of COVID?
Yeah, because I
You don't
could.
have it, right?
No.
Okay, I thought you said you were negative.
Yeah, I was
or-
negative. No, what happened was our friend Nathan, who we went to the convention with.
I don't know how this is possible, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, I know how. Okay, you can go ahead. Sorry.
After or on our way home, he was just like, man, I'm sniffly and I don't feel.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was
'Cause-
kind of coughing just a little bit.
Dakota and Ariel were in the car with Nate. I was not, so I didn't know anything was going on.
Yeah, but so and I mean, and if he's got it, there's a very good chance he's had it since before the con, so he probably didn't pick it up at the con. It'd be my guess.
I kind of see what you're saying, but the likelihood of getting COVID at the con is
It's so
high.
high. Yeah,
It feels like that's where he would have gotten it.
yeah, but I mean, he works at a pharmaceutical company too.
I mean, anything's possible, yeah. But either way, he tested positive on Monday
Mm-hmm.
with COVID, and immediately I was like, crap.
He tested positive Monday, and I call my work, and they're like, okay, we'll take a test tomorrow. So I take my test on Tuesday, but I thought I signed up for the kind of test that was
Rapid?
rapid, but I guess
Oh.
I didn't, and I had to wait so I took my test Tuesday, had to wait until 12 Wednesday, and then my work was like, okay, so you're good to come to work tomorrow. So I didn't get to go back to work until Thursday.
You lost some paycheck? Yeah, that sucks.
Hey, those days off though. To be honest,
Honestly,
I kind of feel like I needed it.
yeah, and just to be clear, as far as I know, Nate was the only one to get COVID.
Yeah.
Drew said he didn't. I didn't. I tested twice.
Me and Ariel didn't.
Yeah, I don't know about Shelby. Have you talked to her? Or Xavier and Megan?
I haven't talked to them, but I'm assuming they didn't.
So here's the thing, guys. There's this group chat that they have that I'm not in for some reason.
I don't know why they never added you.
Well, I think Nate and Shelby were trying to add, or was it Nate and Shelby or Xavier? It might have been Xavier and Megan. Somebody was trying to add me later on, and they're like, we can't. Like, for some reason, they couldn't add me. So I don't really know why. But anyway, so I didn't know, everything that's happening. Someone would always have to come out of the group chat and tell me, hey, Cody, here's what's up. So, yeah, I don't know if anyone else wrote in the group chat and said they were negative. Do you know if Xavier and Megan were negative?
No, I never heard from them or anything, so I'm just assuming they are.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, yeah,
Same
I
with
was negative, but
And I'm assuming Shelby is too.
yeah. But the other thing, what I was gonna say, yeah, other than post-con depression and all of that, I was just dead, dude. When we got back, I haven't felt that tired in a long time. On
Dude.
Sunday night.
I was pretty dead.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be, but I was like, oh my God, get me to my bed.
Yeah, that car ride home, I was with Shelby for the first half of it. Oh, I told you, Mike, we got a new cat named Mikey, and he's not meowing or anything, but we
He's
can hear
pawing
him.
at the door.
Yeah, he doesn't like it when doors are shut. He knows something's happening here. You guys probably won't hear it, but anyway, I was in the car with Shelby going home, and yeah, we were having some really good deep conversations, but at the same time, I was so tired. I kept be like, "Oh my God." am I gonna fall asleep? And then when I got into Xavier and Megan's car, I kind of felt bad because on the way we talked a lot, but on the way home, I was so dead. I like passed out in
Oh
the car, and then when I
no.
woke up, my head hurt. I'm like, man, I don't feel good. But yeah, and then Monday, yeah, I had classes scheduled. For anyone who doesn't know, I teach English. That's my main job right now. Uh, and so I had classes scheduled on Monday, and I was like, I'm sorry, guys. I gotta cancel these. I canceled all my Monday
Oh
classes. I'm like,
no.
guys, I can't do it.
Were
And
they?
thank God, because Monday morning I woke up like I felt like I just got back from war.
What happened?
I guess this is being like late 20s, 30, like what it feels like to go to a con. I don't know.
Yeah, that is weird. Like when we were in our early 20s, we'd bounce back maybe after less than 12 hours. Maybe not you because you were editing a lot.
Yeah, I would be busy. Yeah, back in the day when we would come home from a con, I would immediately start editing
You would start like the minute you got
the
home.
minute I got home. Because especially at one point, I really wanted to get those videos out ASAP because I wanted to take advantage of that. Like,
The hype.
yeah, everybody's looking the con up, like trying to find themselves in videos and
And you
stuff
were
right
afraid if
after.
you waited too long that, because some, not calling anybody out, because some people would take too long with their vlog. Some
Yeah.
people would take months
Yeah.
with like day 1, day 2, day 3, part 2.
And to be honest, I don't know if I needed to go so crazy that I edited the second I got home, but I do think that, I mean, Convention Reviews did, it's not the biggest con channel out there,
It
but
took
it did
off.
all right. And I do think that was part of it. I think that that helped at least,
Hmm.
in the beginning at least.
Because, yeah, you had a very good mindset. You were just pushing yourself way too hard.
Yeah, I would be like the first videos out after the
You would,
con.
it
I
would
was
literally,
fast at one point.
it would literally be like, okay, we won't be here unless I saw you at work or
Mm.
something. It would be, I'm not hearing from you for a week.
I would normally take Monday off as well, but it wasn't like to recover, it was to edit.
And you'd pump them out. You'd get pretty much all of it done that day.
Well, I wasn't really editing. There was a time, it was 2015 Momocon where everything changed. I was editing just raw videos. You remember that? Before that, I would literally just put the clips in.
Yes.
I would watch through it once just to make sure, like, did we say anything we don't want in here, or is there anything, any clips that just like were accidentally filmed or something, where like the camera's like pointed down, or I would take all of that stuff out. But then I would just render it, and so I would literally just upload like 12 videos in a day, and to me now that sounds absolutely insane. But back then, people watched it. They
They
got
did.
views. The channel, I mean the channel got to like I think 5,000 subscribers before I changed that model.
Yeah.
That's 5,000 people were like, "Yeah, we like that."
Yeah, it was part of it though. Is you weren't just doing that; you were doing other things. You were doing
That's
music
true.
videos.
That's
You were,
true.
and your hook was you reviewed the con.
Yeah, which I don't know if I'm going to do this year. Especially cuz I feel like I have a different opinion on the con than most people.
Here's
did.
here's my take on it. Don't review it. My bad. Are we playing footsie? We're playing footsie under the table, and you can't see it.
Just imagine it.
It looks like this, but with toes.
Mm.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's all good.
But maybe don't do a review. Do like an overview.
Yeah, I could do something like that.
Like just a here's how it went. Here's what I thought. I'm not scoring it, but I do recommend still going.
Well, I mean, you watched the first vlog I
Yeah.
did. I'm clearly doing it a little different.
Yeah,
I am
yeah.
curious what you think of the style in general. Not like the editing and all of that. I mean, I hope you like all of that, but the style of like where I'm kind of doing it like a story, like telling a story. Like I'm sitting at my computer and film myself while I'm editing, like filling in some of the gaps.
I like that a lot, actually.
You
Yeah.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was worried about because I knew going in I wanted to do it like that, but I've never done a con vlog like that. I've never seen someone do a con vlog like that. I've seen videos like that in other genres, like other like style or other places, but not for a convention.
Right.
So I didn't know how people would take it, and no one commented on the style change. So I'm like, I don't know what people think. I got a lot of comments that were hyped that Convention Reviews is back and all of that. The comments were awesome on that video, by the way, guys. I was like blown away the amount of comments that kept rolling in. But yeah, no one mentioned that, which was what I was most curious about. So, but you liked it.
I did like it a lot. It was and I do like that you went with the Bleach inspired opening.
They're not just inspired. If you look, I straight up jacked it. It's the exact colors, the exact background. There's like super contrast on the faces. So
Mhm.
for all of them, all the faces, I just raised that contrast as high as I could.
Now, if you don't know what we're talking about, and if you're watching the new, are you caught up on Bleach yet?
I am. We can talk a little bit about
Oh,
that later if
oh,
you want.
oh
But
yeah. But if you don't know, when in the new Bleach, and this isn't spoilers, but when they reintroduce the Karakura Town gang, that being Ichigo, Chad, Ryu,
the main characters.
yeah, and all the it does a freeze frame, and it cuts to, if you watch our video, they turn black and white, and the background turns all pink and polka dotty. It sounds lame if I'm explaining
But it's
it.
cool.
It looks really cool, and it's a very hype way to reintroduce the old gang.
Yeah, and it puts their name like bold
Mhm.
black lettering next to them.
Kurosaki Ichigo.
Yeah. It was super cool, and I knew I wanted to do something with a freeze frame. And then Dakota mentioned to me, I think off of the podcast,
Yeah.
like, you should do it like Bleach.
Yeah, because I was like, cash in on that Bleach hype.
Yeah, but then when I did it, it was so cool. I even used it for the thumbnail,
Yeah.
which I thought made it really stand out. I wanted it to be obvious that this is different than the old videos. Like, if someone's scrolling through in like 2 years, they can see a switch. Like, oh, this thumbnail is suddenly different here.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great. I really
Yeah.
loved how those turned out. So thanks for that suggestion, Dakota.
Yeah,
because I don't know what I was gonna do. But
That's what I'm here for. I'm the idea guy.
yeah, like I had the idea, but then Dakota put the cherry on top with the like make it like Bleach thing.
That's what I do. That's me. I'm the cherry on top. You know, I'm not the main dish, but you know what? He's the cherry on top.
Sometimes when I get a shake, I look more forward to the cherry than the shake.
I never eat the cherry.
Oh my god, Dakota, you're one of those.
I always give it to my wife.
You're one of those, dude. When I was a kid and I would go to like Steak and Shake, I would ask them to give me 10 cherries
Oof.
on the top of it.
Mm-mm.
My mom should not have allowed that. Because when I grew up, I learned how bad those cherries are for you. They are like bad, but they are so good.
But I do love cherry pie.
Oh, I love cherry pie.
Dude,
too.
cherry pie.
Cherry pie is so
Get you a
good.
good cherry pie. Just
Absolutely. Cherry and blueberry. Blueberry's so good.
I just recently, for the first time, I love blueberry muffins.
Oh, me too.
I love pretty much any kind of blueberry like pastry.
Yeah,
For
definitely.
the longest time, I stayed away from blueberry pie. I tried it when I was a kid, and it wasn't like sweet like I thought it would be.
Oh, it's a little more sourish, right?
It's more of a subtle taste.
Yeah.
It's not like sour. It's not real sweet. It's a very subtle sweetness.
It's good though.
Yeah, and then I finally at a restaurant was like, all right, it was a buffet, and I was like, they have blueberry pie. I was like, oh well, I'll try it. Maybe I'll like it now, dude.
Sorry.
It was just some gross buffet blueberry pie, but I'm like, man, is this what blueberry pie is like? I'm gonna have a good blueberry pie.
Did
now.
you?
I haven't yet, but I like it, so I'm a blueberry pie fan now.
Yeah, you got to try a good one.
I don't know if I can get down on blueberry cheesecake yet, though.
Never tried that. I want to try raspberry.
Dude, raspberry cheesecake is the bomb.
I like everything I've ever had that's raspberry flavored. Everything.
Do you like raspberries?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Definitely. But there's raspberry pie, right? Is there?
Yeah, there is, but the thing about raspberry pie is it's usually way, way, way too sour. And typically you make it
Oh.
into a mixed berry pie. From my
I
experience,
see.
I could be wrong. From my experience, you do a mixed berry pie of like blackberries and raspberries and blueberries. If you're gonna do it like that, so it's a healthy mix. But you're also gonna get a lot of seeds in your pie.
I can imagine that.
And I don't
for
like
sure.
seedy. I don't like seed in my pie. I like my pie to be nice.
Right.
Yes.
I've recently realized right when I say recently, I mean in the last couple of years that I am a pie guy way more than cake.
You've come around.
Yeah, I still love cake, but pie is so good, man.
Isn't it?
I feel like cake is for children. Pie is for adults.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because when I was a kid, I would definitely argue cake over
Dude,
pie.
not just a kid. We had a whole like conversation at a con one time where we had the whole room debating.
Did we? I don't remember that.
Debating cake versus pie.
We had a lot of
After
con
Rhett and Link did
debates.
it, we all just
Oh.
at the con we were like, okay, cake. Some of us were for pie, others were for cake.
I feel like I was uneducated back then. I hadn't had as many pies back then.
You were you're a bit pickier of an eater, and
I
cake's
was
a
way
much
pickier of a eater. Yeah.
cake's a much simpler food. Anybody can get down with cake.
That's true.
But there's a pie for everybody.
Yeah, I think so.
Cake is for everybody, but pie can be for anybody.
To be honest, I think at that time I had only had cherry pie as a kid because my mom used to make cherry pies, and I had a bad experience because one year when she made it, there were silkworms in it.
Ooh.
My dad still ate it. A protein.
I mean,
But and pumpkin pie. I think were the only two I had at that
pumpkin
point.
pie's good.
Yeah. So it was hard for me to make an argument because I hadn't been exposed to many pies yet. But now I've
How
grown.
do you feel about
learned.
apple pie?
I really do love it, but I don't like it as much as cherry pie and blueberry pie.
I only see apple pie was ruined for me.
Really?
And by that, I mean my great grandmother.
Well, this is what you explained on the last episode.
Yeah. So I don't need to.
I understand.
For those who didn't listen, my great grandmother used to make this amazing apple pie. She's gone now. We don't get that pie anymore. Now I can't eat apple pie anymore.
Right.
Except for my grandma for my birthday. My grandma, my great grandma's daughter, made me a pie for my birthday that it was about this close. It made me cry, like when I took a bite. It legit, like I sobbed and just like I took one bite, paused, and had that like Ratatouille moment where he's taken back to his childhood.
Oh yeah. What about McDonald's apple pie?
I used to like it, but again, I can't eat any other pie.
Really? Even McDonald's apple pie, you can't.
I like their cream pies better.
Wow, I've never tried it.
Dude, their cream pies are so good. Don't be taking any of that out of context.
One of the things I miss the most from the Philippines is Jollibee has a peach mango pie, which is my favorite fast food pie that I've ever had. I would get
mango?
it so often.
That sounds good. You know me, I like me some mangoes.
It's so good, man. But yeah, I can't find it here. I mean, I don't think there's a Jollibee in Indiana, so
No,
maybe
the closest one's in Chicago, I think.
maybe they have it at Jollibee's here, but yeah, maybe someday I'll have it again.
Now Jollibee is it's like based in Philippines, yeah.
Yeah, it is from Philippines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like-
It's Filipino brand fast food. But they do have some here, but from what I know, it's pretty expensive. I don't know why. It's just like chicken and spaghetti and stuff like that. But
Going back to the convention.
yeah, I did want to
sorry.
circle back around there eventually.
So
It's tradition here that we got to talk about
yeah,
food.
of course.
Yeah.
We'll make you hungry on this podcast, and not just for our delicious bodies.
Yeah, you got to eat while you watch this one. At least the first half.
Get you a bowl of chips and just pretend it's a nice bowl of something that's not chips. I don't know.
Chips are good. Pretend it's chips.
I guess. I mean,
Oh,
what
anyway,
kind of chip you like?
What kind of chip do I
Yeah.
like? We're not gonna go back to the con. My favorite kind of chip is tortilla chips.
oh, really? Just corn chips?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm still just always the nacho cheese Doritos, man.
Oh, there's a we still have it here. We should remind me to let you try it before. Or do you like spicy food at all? A little
yeah,
spice.
I'm
It's
into
not like
it.
super spicy.
I can handle it. Yeah.
There's a corn chip, like Tostitos tortilla chip, that my mom bought because she thought maybe it's good. It's
Is it one of the one
spicy
chips?
queso. No, it's spicy queso flavor.
Okay.
And it tastes, to me and Chris both, we thought it tasted exactly like a Dorito, like nacho cheese Dorito, but with like an extra kick of spice at the end.
So like a spicy nacho Dorito.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try it.
But yeah, you should try
I like
it.
spicy nacho Doritos.
I really, really liked it. I liked it better than, the more I ate them, the more I was like, I like this better than Doritos, I think.
How do you feel about kettle chips?
Hate them.
What?
I hate anything kettle.
Well, when was the last time you tried it though?
A kettle chip? You're right. When I was picky. Years and years ago.
You like jalapeno flavor stuff?
Yes, dude. My favorite ketchup is the jalapeno ketchup.
Dude, that ketchup is
I've got that. I just had that an hour ago.
Did you put that on a hot dog?
I put it on. The only thing I found that I can't put it on is, well, I don't know if you do this anyway. I like ketchup on scrambled eggs.
Not me, but I get it.
I don't do it every time, but I do like it. And I tried the jalapeno one on there, and I was like, I can't go with this one. It's not working for me. But
you should try some. Maybe I'll bring some on the show sometime for you to try. Well, maybe we'll do a taste test episode or something. The jalapeno kettle potato chips.
I'll try it for sure.
Dude, do you like a nice crunch?
Yeah, but it doesn't sound great for a podcast.
No, I mean you can back up. Hey, I'm way back here. Crunch, crunch.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Youmacon.
So all right. So what's your highlight event?
Well, I did want to say though, because I mentioned that I don't feel like I can review this con because I feel like I thought it was different than other people. I hear a lot of people online saying that this Yoma wasn't that great, and talking to some other people there saying this Yoma wasn't that great. What do you think?
I kind of agree.
I think for me, I can't judge this Yoma properly because
Mhm.
this Yoma was like a return to cons. It was
Mhm.
a return to hanging out with the whole crew again after 3 years. My brain is in a different place. My brain is not able to evaluate the con itself. I cannot separate it from.
It's been 5 years
Yeah,
because you didn't even review the last Youmacon we went to.
that's true. I can't separate what is the con like objectively or subjectively, and then my like objective experience with our friend group
Mhm.
and everything. Like this time, for whatever reason, I guess because it had been so long, I can't. So in my brain, it was great. I had a fantastic
Oh
time.
yeah, I had a fun time. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time. I'd say 9 to 10 out of 10, even
Mm,
fun time. But
yeah.
uh, as far as the con itself, I don't know.
I mean, I don't. I just felt like I had no problems.
I mean, I'll say one of my issues. Now, this is something that should have been planned ahead, obviously, or
I feel like I
something
know
that
what you're gonna say.
it's about the masks
Uh-huh.
thing. Now, the mask thing I think was necessary. Don't
Explain that. Maybe not everyone has watched our
Now, so they have for the dealer's room and most of the big events,
panels. Most every
panels,
panel.
concerts, and dance parties, raves, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
There was a mask mandate,
Mm-hmm.
and
Made sense.
made perfect sense. I'm not arguing the mask mandate. It's a big group of people. COVID is still around.
Nate got it.
Yeah, so it's best to be careful. However, gonna make it a mandatory thing. You need to be able to supply masks.
And this is where I completely disagree with the code.
'Cause
And I
I've
think it's a
been-
cultural thing because being in the Philippines, they don't do that. They'll never supply a mask. So you always have to have one with you. That's why I feel like I can't. If it's normal here that events supply masks, then I guess I can agree with you.
Mhm.
But yeah, in Philippines, that never happens. So I'm always used to it. You have to have a mask.
Most things like that I've been to where they now not at first necessarily. Most things that I've been to, and again, this is just me, my experience. It could be wrong, but most things you go to that are an event where they are requiring a mask, they'll have. Do you have a mask? No. Okay, right over there's some masks. Go grab one, please. All right.
See that? Yeah, that's the difference. I've never experienced that ever. So when you were like, because you were getting upset at the con that you thought you were saying this, they should be supplying masks.
I was saying if they're gonna have this many people and make this big a deal about it, because what happened was, I mean, that dealer's room line because of the mask thing and checking badges, that was one of the most intense dealer's room lines I've ever had to deal with every day.
I mean, yeah, there was a line to get in the dealer's room every time because they had to stop and check everything. It's not just the mask. I think what slowed it down more than anything was on the badge, you had a sticker saying you can't go into some things if you don't have the silver sticker.
That was a joke too, by the way. But
Yeah, the silver sticker, you only get it if you're vaccinated or show that you, got tested for COVID right before the con and were negative.
Yeah,
Which was bull. Honestly, they didn't even look at my vaccination card. It was in my pocket the whole time when I got the badge. They just gave me the sticker.
I think you mentioned that in the vlog.
I did.
too.
It was so weird because I was nervous because my vaccination card's from the Philippines. So I'm like, are they gonna accept this? I don't know. I was a little bit nervous. And then the woman didn't look at it, and I was like, "Do you need my vaccination card?" And she said, "I already put the sticker on there."
And so
It's
that's
like why?
they didn't even why make this big guffaw about it.
But that being said, I think it's going to depend on the person giving the badge because there was another guy on a phone when Nate and I walked from the Kobo to the hotel. For those who don't know Yomicon, there's two venues. There's a convention center and the hotel, and they're separated by a little bit of a walk, or you can take the people mover. This night, Nate and I decided to walk, and we were in front of a guy on the phone, and he was complaining that he couldn't get into anything because they wouldn't put the sticker on his badge because he wasn't vaccinated. So I think it depends which person you ask, or maybe when you get it, maybe Friday they weren't checking and someone came around and was like, you got to start checking.
It had to have been something like that because what happened they must have had people complaining or something. 'Cause
Maybe.
with me and my wife, we both got tested. We're not vaccinated, but we're not going to get into that. But we both got texted.
Texted.
I mean, I guess we kind of did, but and we got tested. And we came back negative, and had our emails says negative on there, and
Right.
took it there, and I showed them my thing, and the lady was like, "Okay, sticker." And then my wife had her phone's messed up, so she had to use our friend's phone, but it was her email and said here. But she literally, I could have just sent a screenshot of my negative test to her phone, and then them could have been shown that. I could have just done that. Not that I
They
would
didn't
have.
like check the information. You mean?
Yeah, it just said negative on the email, and that's all it says.
Maybe
on
you
the
could have
email.
just typed up a Word document negative
I-
and then just shown it to them.
I could have just made like a mock word, like flash art or something.
Yeah, that's
Flash
weird.
art. That's not the right thing.
Flash art.
Yeah.
It's like blinking negative, like
yeah.
with little fireworks going off.
Woohoo!
Congratulations.
You're COVID free. But see, that's to me that was a joke, and maybe the next day, maybe they put their foot down a little bit more about it.
Maybe they tightened it up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, again, I went through what I was supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do, and so did you. So we didn't have to worry about
I
it.
just thought it was weird, yeah, that they didn't, that my vaccine, they didn't even see that I had a card, they let alone look at it. It was just in my pocket the whole time.
Mhm. And back to the mask thing and that line. That line, not kidding. If you get to the back of that line at one point, you're probably going to wait up to an hour just to get into the dealer's room.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we had to do that line 3 times in one day at one point.
I don't know, dude. I feel like you're exaggerating.
Well, the longest we had to wait was about a half an hour.
Okay.
But by
okay.
the time we got to the front and saw where we started to where it went,
okay.
I'm not kidding you, probably back of that line probably would have waited up to an hour.
I mean, it
maybe
goes,
not more.
It goes fast though. 'Cause
Not
they're just
more.
letting you in. They just have to check the thing. It's not like you have to wait for people to come out or something.
Yeah,
The longest I waited was 20 minutes, I think.
yeah,
But-
you.
I mean, either way, you're waiting though.
Yeah,
And so what happened to Dakota was what? What happened?
Well, the first. So let me think. Well, day one.
Saturday.
Yeah,
Or Friday. Friday.
Friday was a bit stressful. Me and my wife went back to the room, and then it was just back and forth.
Oh, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But Friday was just a little bit more stressful, but it ended up being really good.
Mm.
Friday ended up being good, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But Saturday, we get up, we get going, we walk all the way to the dealer's room, get right up to the line, and
To the front of the line.
Yeah,
You
literally
waited.
the front. I'm next.
How long did you wait in line?
Maybe 15 minutes. It wasn't very long, but it was still like.
But we're not in the main hotel for the con. He had to come over from our hotel on the People Mover. It is close to the People Mover, but it is just enough that it does still feel kind of out of the way. At least that's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But
So we go, and we're at the convention center, which is the second stop from our hotel.
yes,
So it goes our hotel, one stop, convention center,
it's literally
then-
2 blocks away even. if
and
we
then
wanted
2
to
or
walk
3
it.
stops, and then
Yeah.
and then 2 or 3 stops, and then you get to the Rensen.
I don't know. There's like 5 more stops, 4 or 5 stops to get to the Rinsen.
Yeah, but they're real short. They're real
Yeah, they're
close.
quick. Yeah.
But so to get back there, we didn't want to walk back because we weren't quite comfortable walking by ourselves.
Mm.
So we walked, at least not at that point. So we walked all the way.
No, wait. Why did you have to go back? You didn't say.
Oh, because I left my badge.
Oh, you left your badge.
Mhm.
Okay, on Saturday.
Yeah, Friday it was a thing of no masks.
Oh, right.
Because we had masks, but we left them in the hotel because we were thinking, oh, they'll have, because they were providing masks the night before.
I'm gonna guess, honestly, what I think happened is that they were providing. Obviously, we know they were providing masks at one point.
Yeah, 'cause
It's
they
in
did.
my vlog too. You can see them handing them out.
And that's why we were like, okay, they'll have masks available.
But I'm gonna guess they ran out. I mean, how many thousands of people were there?
That's what I'm saying. They should have planned ahead
I
on that. If they're gonna,
mean-
if they're gonna, if they're gonna say masks will be required, they need to know there are gonna be people who, because there isn't a mask mandate over the whole country. There's only mask mandates at certain things like this. It's not like
it
the
just felt
Philippines.
like they gave you a mask at registration. Like you should have held on to that mask.
Yeah, but
I feel like they would.
Oh, I did, but
you
I
can't
forgot it.
expect yeah, I just feel like you can't expect them to give you a new mask every single time you go. They're gonna need like 500,000 masks. That's insane.
I mean, they should have prepared. I'm sorry. That's something that I think they should have prepared for.
I think
don't
we
think
disagree on this topic.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Again, you were around it where it was culturally different, so you're used to something different than what, I might be used to.
For sure, but I guess I just felt like once they gave you one mask, you should have known to like carry.
Yeah,
this
but they're also
mask.
disposable at the same time. And that's not that because I didn't throw mine away. I left it at the hotel room.
Right.
So, and I left it there and thought, oh crap. Well, they were giving them out last night, so
Right.
they'll have
For
plenty
sure.
tonight.
Yeah.
And that's where I think is the other thing. They're giving them out one night. They need to be giving them out every night, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I mean, we don't know what happened. I would love to hear somebody from like
Yeah,
the staff
and I'm not
hear,
trying to
maybe
poo-poo.
maybe they tried and just couldn't find enough masks to buy. Like I don't know.
This is stuff to think about in the future. Is what I'm saying.
Maybe next year there won't be a mandate. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen?
But moving away from that. So we go and then we get back and we wait in the line again, and then we go in the dealer's room for a little bit, and then my wife tries to use her card on something, and she knows she has money, and it gets declined.
Oh,
she
that's
just
the
got paid the day
worst.
before.
That's the
And
worst.
and she's like, I just checked. I know. So we have to leave the dealer's room, go find an ATM.
She couldn't check on her phone. There's nothing she could do.
No, our bank is dumb. You
Oh.
can't just sign in. You have to have a whole you can't just sign in with your regular bank information yet. They have to send you a whole nother code.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Sounds safe.
It's safe, yeah, but I don't even like to bother with it anyway. Anyway, so she goes, she has plenty of money, like we knew. She pulls it all out in cash so that doesn't happen again. We go and we wait in the line again.
I mean, this was LineCon 2022.
It
This was the
really-
most LineCon Yoma we ever had. But
And Yoma, typically their lines go really smooth, and this is no exception. Their lines went pretty smooth.
they did. They were long, but they all went smooth.
Yeah.
Every line I was in went smoothly.
Like there was no hiccups. There was no like Karens or Kevins. I backed away from the mic. Karens or Kevins or anything like that.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah. Other than that, there was really no big drama. I'm poo pooing a lot of stuff, but
Okay, well, let's go back to positive. You asked me a while ago what was my
Yeah,
number
what's
one
your
experience?
highlight?
My highlight? Is my highlight allowed to be like personal, or you mean just like the con? in general?
anything.
I think my highlight was just like being with everybody again. I mean, does that count?
That counts. Yeah.
Yeah, like seeing everybody again and having everybody together was awesome.
Yeah.
Like even the times we spent in our little hotel room that was not big enough for all of us, but just having everybody in there like talking, hanging out, that was fun. Like I think those are the things that I remember for sure about this con. The con stuff, I barely remember it. Like
I do. I remember. Well, my highlight of the actual con, because I do have a highlight of the con, is honestly seeing Mystery Skulls, which you all missed. Dude.
where were we during that? That was
I don't.
Friday.
Yeah, I don't know where you were.
Me, Nate, and Shelby were at a hentai panel.
Oh, that's right.
The good one. We went to 2 hentai panels over the weekend, and one of them, the one that only me, Nate, and Shelby went to, there were still some things that we were like, ooh, which maybe I'll talk about that in the vlog, but it was generally good. But then you were with us the next night, right?
Yeah, and I was excited. We were excited for that one.
Everybody together went to this other one on Saturday night, and we were all like, ugh, I don't know. I mean, you wanted to leave. Did you want to leave?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to be out of here.
I think all of us wanted to leave, but we're kind of thinking like, is anyone else enjoying this? Like, should we stay?
I mean, I was getting a chuckle here and there.
Yeah, it's just like hentai panels we had gone to in the past were generally funny. There's something entertaining about it. That one, it felt like we're just watching hentai with a bunch of people in a room.
Yeah, because they would it'd be one because they started off the first clip with the corn. I won't.
We're not gonna go into detail on any of
But
this.
it was involving corn,
Uh-huh.
and that was funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if the whole panel's gonna be like this, then we're in for a good time.
Yeah.
And then they would play a clip, and it's like, ha ha, okay, it's still going.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's still going.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still going. The joke's been over for like 30 seconds now. Or are we gonna stop?
Yeah, it just felt weird. I feel like I'm not the kind of person I can't just like watch hentai unironically in a room with I don't know how many people were in that room.
It was probably at least 50.
at least 50
with
for
a
sure. I think
line of
100,
people waiting to come in.
huge line waiting to come in. It was like,
And
I
when
just
we
didn't like
stepped
it.
out, it was like 5 of us stepping out, and then there was a whole group of people who were like, oh, it's our turn, we can go in.
Yeah, they were rabid to get in there, which they should have come to the one the night before. But anyway, yeah, that's where we were at. We were at the
Okay.
hentai bingo while you were at the concert.
Well, then it sounds like you at least had a good time.
We did have. I'm not gonna say that's my highlight of the con as far as like con stuff, but I had a good time at that for sure.
But me and my wife, it was a surprise to us because she's a big fan of the EDM artist, Mystery Skulls. Of the artist
the
Mystery.
EDM artist.
Yeah.
Mystery Skull.
Yeah.
The techno artist.
Well, he's kind of like Daft Punk
Mm.
in a sense, where he'll sing.
Oh, you see. What chapter you on in One Piece?
Nah.
Okay, all right.
Don't spoil the manga yet. I'm a little behind.
All right.
Not caught up. I'm at least 4 behind.
All right. Oh, that much? Oh, crap, dude.
But it'll be a fun
Okay.
little binge read.
Okay. I was 4 behind. I just did it this morning.
Oh, okay.
It was great.
So
yeah.
so you're about where I was.
I
Anyway,
was exactly where you were, I think. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
you said the next chapter I read is going to make me mad, so I guess I've kind of been avoiding it.
Oh no, it's good. Mad in a good way.
Oh, okay.
Like like oh my god. Yeah. You gotta go
Okay.
for it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So, anyway, it was the night before we left. I was just like, let's look at the guest list. And I'm going through and I see Mystery Skulls, and that's one of my wife's favorite artists.
You already knew that.
I didn't know he was going to be there.
Oh no, but you knew he was one of her favorite.
Yeah,
artists.
yeah, because she was one of the first artists that she liked. She ever showed me, and I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, I like this guy
Back in the
too."
day.
Yeah, like when we
Oh,
first
wow.
started talking. So we listened to Mystery. She's a lot bigger fan than I am, but I like everything I hear by him. And I was like, "Hey, look, who's gonna be there?" And she was like, "Wow!" And then so we were all like, "Okay, we gotta see this," because she's been real big into seeing concerts lately. Because we've been going to a few, like we saw Logic and a couple other bands this year, but. So we were like, okay, let's go see Mystery Skulls. We don't know when we're going to get to see that again.
She'd never seen him?
Never seen him. I'd never seen him. Dude, he crushed it. It was one of the most fun concerts I've ever been to.
Really?
It was so fun. Like,
Man,
that's why I'm like-
wish I would have been there. I wanted to go.
Because it just felt like a rave.
Yeah.
It just felt like a really, really awesome rave.
Was it better than any of the other rave that weekend?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think.
But he's a professional. Not that the
Right.
other guys aren't professional, but
right.
he's got a lot more money behind him.
Yeah, there's a difference for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. As far as the raves go, Friday I think I had more fun on Friday. Like there were less people
Yeah.
there, which can be good or bad.
Mhm.
But we were all just having fun, like hanging out.
Mhm.
I think the music was a little bit better on Friday.
The Friday music was really good. And
Yeah.
I don't even really remember the rave music on Saturday. I remember not being it. It was a little too drum and bassy for me. I've
The second,
never...
I think the first DJ when we first got in was good.
Yes.
Then they switched DJs really quickly after we got in, maybe like 15, 20 minutes after we got in there.
Mhm.
And the second DJ, he had an awesome opening. I filmed
Yeah.
this whole opening. I rewatched it again and I was like, this is sick.
Yeah, Nate was telling me about it because they did The Greatest Showman. Whoa.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Cause
Oh,
that's
I
like-
don't know.
And then he said that, and then Nate was like, the moment when you're like ready for them to really drop the music, the rest of the song, they're like,
No, not in the intro. In the
Oh.
intro, they did drop. The
Oh.
intro was great. But yeah, then later there was a fake out drop and everyone was screaming like, F the DJ. I've never heard anyone do that before.
Wow.
And then I ended up leaving. We left at one point. You had to find Ariel. Like we had to go to the bathroom. Then you found Ariel. Then I left to go hang out with Shelby because I was kind of feeling. One of the things I love the most about Yoma is just walking around the Rinsen at night after being in
Yes.
the rave for like 40 minutes to an hour. Just that vibe in the Rinsen.
Yes.
So yeah, Shelby was walking around anyway. So I was like, okay, I'll go hang out with Shelby. And so I left. But then Drew came down later. Just randomly, we were talking. And he was just coming down the escalator. We're like, "Oh, Drew," and he told us that that there were a lot of fake out drops from that DJ. And I guess he said they changed DJ and still were fake out drops on the next DJ. I don't understand why.
Like, okay, it's fine to have one or two in your set.
Yeah, 1 or 2 is okay. Everyone's like, ah.
You got me. Or like if you're gonna have a prank like these nuts and
Oh yeah, but then you got to bring it back.
yeah, you can't the crowds were ready, and then if you kill the vibe, it's like the Emperor's New Groove. You threw off my groove, man.
Yeah.
I was grooving, I was vibing, you threw that off.
Yeah.
Did you hear Nate, by the way? We all, Saturday night, except for you, of course, drank a little more than maybe we should have.
I drank a protein shake.
We probably had a nice poo the next morning. So
I can't remember, but I probably did.
But Nate, he'd had a little bit more to drink than, again, we probably all should have. And he said he was just in it by himself. He said he was just vibing.
Oh, really?
He said at one point said he just was the whole time for like, what he said was probably, he said it felt like 8 minutes, but he said it was probably close to half an hour with him he said he was just.
I mean, great. Get it, Nate.
But he said what threw him off was the time changed. He said he looked at one point and it was like 2:10 or something like that. And he was like, okay, cool.
No. It changed at 2.
Okay. So it was like whatever time it was.
1 something probably.
Oh, yeah. It was like 1:58 or whatever. And then he was like, okay, it's almost 2. And then he was vibing or whatever. And then it changed. And then he looked and it was 1. And he was like, what happened?
Yeah. So just so you guys know, Youmacon, every Youmacon we've ever been to takes place during daylight savings.
I feel like that's almost on purpose.
I think they do it on
gives
purpose.
us an extra hour of party.
It's awesome. It's my favorite thing about Yoma, maybe.
It gives you literally an extra hour of party.
I don't worry at all about time on Saturday night. Because some cons I do. Because some cons I know we got to get up early and pack and get out of here. It's going to be tiring, exhausting. And that's the night you don't want to go to bed. That's the most fun night. But sometimes it gets to me. But at Yoma, I'm never thinking about it. Because we got that extra hour. But anyway, there was something I was going to say. And I've forgotten it.
Oh,
is anything else happening at Yoma? Oh, I guess I wanted to ask, what do you think? Because I think we talked a little bit about this before in our episode 0 that we did. What do you think was the most popular cosplay at Yoma? What's the most popular cosplay nowadays? What show do you think is?
Man, it was a mixed bag this year. I don't know if I saw any one it was kind of beautiful, honestly.
There was a big mix. I mean, there were a couple I felt that stood out.
I saw a lot. To me, the one that stuck out to me the most was I saw a lot of Over the Garden Wall cosplay.
What is that?
It's a cartoon on Cartoon Network. You see that guy that's got the real tall red cone hat.
Man, I must have just not even seen this at all.
I'll pull it up while I'm talking. I saw a lot of that.
There was a lot of
unique cosplay. A lot of My Hero. There's always
still
that.
popping off, dude. I was wondering if it wasn't going to be as popular anymore, but
I'm surprised I didn't see as much Bleach as I thought I would.
I agree. I
saw one really good Ichigo. I was like, hey, your Ichigo is awesome. And he was like, thanks. And I was like, you watching the show? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, nice talk.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'm so sorry.
It's not good. They didn't stick true to the manga enough. I saw a lot of One Piece, which I was happy about.
Yeah, lots of One Piece.
One Piece is popping off nowadays.
That's Over the Garden Wall.
Nah, I don't remember seeing that.
I saw a lot of that this weekend.
It's one of those things where if you don't know it, you're not looking for it, and it's not going to stick in your head.
For whatever reason, and it just stuck out. Maybe because I watched an episode a couple weeks back.
I know what stood out the most to me. I feel like I'm going to have to bring her up because you don't know who it is, and maybe you'll recognize her.
Who is it?
One of the main girls from Chainsaw Man.
Oh.
There was a lot of Chainsaw Man stuff in general, but one girl.
Yeah, you're right. I did see quite a few Chainsaw Man stuff.
Do you know Power from Chainsaw Man? Hold on, let me.
I saw a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, was there?
I saw quite a few of that. Yeah.
This girl, she just got the little red horns on her head.
Oh,
yeah.
I've seen her.
I think I saw like 200 powers walking around because it's pretty easy. It's not too crazy.
I think I kept getting confused with 02 from Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, she looks similar.
She looks very close to 02.
Yeah, but there were so many power walking around. There were some what's his name? Dingy. He's the main character in Chainsaw Man, but he's harder to do, of course, if you want to do like the chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's way harder to do.
There were some good ones.
I saw one that was insane, and he was with a power, like maybe the best power I had seen. They were together. I think I was with Nate, and I'm like, oh, I got to get them because they were getting a picture together. And then like the picture ended. I wasn't there in time, and I thought, oh, well, they're together, so I can just stop them. They weren't together.
Oh, no.
She had went up to him and asked. So they were already separating. And I was like, I felt like, I don't know. I felt bad to be like, wait, guys, come back.
I know the stick out cosplay for me was there was a dude walking around. I don't know if you would have saw it, but He was walking around as Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
I did
And he was
see
in
it.
stilts, and he was like
That was
9 feet
awesome.
tall. Oh, it was so cool.
I think I filmed him.
He was really cool. And you haven't watched Rings of Power,
No.
but if you do, you'll like it. That's
Oh, for sure.
It's up your alley.
I didn't know who he was cosplaying at first, and then I think somebody said it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got it. It was cool though. It was really cool.
And to me, I was like, oh, that's cool. He's cashing it. To me, I'm like, you're cashing it. It's a good time to be cosplaying Sauron right now
Yeah.
because he's a big deal. Sorry, I keep playing footsie with him.
I saw actually. I think I saw like 3 different cosplayers in stilts.
Really, I only saw the one.
He was the best one, but I definitely saw at least one other. It was like some kind of ghost thing. I don't know what it was, but it was cool.
You know what I saw? There was something that we used to see that used to kind of make us. This is gonna sound mean, but I don't condone this. But it used to make us cringe back in the day.
Homestuck.
Mm-hmm. Now it doesn't anymore. I've matured since then. I'm not a fan still. I'm still not a fan. Don't hear me wrong. I'm on that, but I respect the people who like it, and it doesn't make me cringe anymore. In fact, I cringe at my cringing.
Look, guys, we just gotta be honest. Back in the day, Homestuck, I'm not saying all the fans were bad, but it was a fandom where there were just so many people in it.
It was a
that
very
there were
glompy.
there were bad apples. There were people who made it look bad.
Kind of like the Steven Universe fandom or the Rick and Morty fandom.
It's every fandom that gets big. I mean, I remember when Attack on Titan was really popping off. As much as I love Attack on Titan, sometimes the fandom really made me cringe.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's when it gets that big.
Deadpool fandom. Oh.
Yeah.
They'll flare. Well, maybe I only saw like 2 Deadpools this
I
week.
don't know if I saw one at all.
I think I saw a few.
Saw
there was
Spider-Man.
There was a Pikachu pool. Like
Oh, I did see that. That was cool. That was super cool.
That was pretty nice.
Anyway, what about Homestuck?
It used to be. It's gone from something where I'm like, geez, Homestuck. To now when I see it, I'm like, it's Homestuck.
I felt the same way.
Hey!
I think I only saw at least I only recognized 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I saw 2 myself.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. Might have seen 3.
When Shelby, Nate, and I went to the Maid Cafe when we were waiting outside, a Homestuck walked by, and we're like, holy crap. It was Homestuck.
They're still around.
Yeah, it was insane. That was the first one we had seen. I'm like, I know those orange horns.
Don't let the flame die.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I'm rooting for you.
I know, right? It's crazy to see how they went from like literally overwhelming numbers at conventions to dwindling.
Like
They look like they're dying off.
They would have like whole Homestuck meetups,
Oh my god!
and there would be hundreds of people.
If you went by the Homestuck meetup, you might get absorbed and
Oh,
never
yeah.
be seen again.
Cody.
Yeah, it was crazy. That sounds like an exaggeration. It was crazy.
It was. It really, and it's something that's been around for so long. It's been around since like 2008,
Has it?
something like that.
I don't know if we'll ever see something like that again.
No.
Like the way Homestuck took over.
No, I don't think we will.
I can't imagine anything coming up. I say that, but you never know. But I can't imagine anything coming
Well, it
out
used to
and
be
doing
those kind of places were the only places people who liked it, like-minded, could meet up. So, I mean, yeah, you had Facebook, but there weren't Facebook groups back in those days. Not like there are now.
I feel like if that's gonna happen again, it's gonna be one of these like web comics. Web comics are so big right now.
It's probably going to be like SCP Foundation or something.
I don't know what that means.
You don't need to. It's dumb.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I shouldn't say it's dumb. I'm mostly spiteful about the SCP Foundation stuff because there was a YouTube channel I liked called the Exploring Series, and he would take different, like, nerds, like Lord of the Rings or Cthulhu mythos, and he'd go through topic by topic, and for a video, give, like, a 10-minute lesson on, like, here's the backstory and history of Cthulhu, or here's the backstory and history of Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. And he used to do that with all kinds of stuff, like Warhammer and just different series. And now he said at one point he got into the SCP Foundation stuff, and it's never ending. Like they're constantly adding stuff and making more to it. So that's just, he admitted like years ago that that's just what his channel is now.
Oh,
SCP.
so it changed his channel.
So I'm a little spiteful because he went from making really cool content that I was interested in to now he's only SCP. And I'm like, eh.
I see. Okay, so to wrap up, Yoma, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say. I guess this would be your chance.
As always, the location, the Rensen. I don't think it's going to happen again, but I do wish we could have been staying in the Rensen. And I do wish they would have had more going on in the Rensen instead of the convention center. It felt like the Rensen, to me, because they used to have like the game room in there.
That was a big change. Taking the game room out of the Rensit did change something, honestly.
And since that first year with that AMV room, they haven't done that since. I feel like. Remember
I don't
when
even remember it.
you don't remember going in and they just that one room that just had AMVs playing on the screen constantly?
No.
It was a big deal. It was where you saw the big Godzilla hentai one late at night.
I went to a hentai panel where I saw that.
Oh,
Oh no, wait! I'm thinking of the Fat Albert one. I saw a
Yeah.
Fat Albert.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you and I think Katie were.
Yeah,
Like,
we went. Was it in a? It was.
it was in like the opening ceremony room.
It was a big room. Maybe it was an AMV room, and then
It
at night they
was.
turned it into an 18+ AMV room.
Yeah, it was because that's where I first saw the. There was this one music video where it was the guy who sings Linkin Park in 18 different styles, but they
Oh,
made an AMV to it, and that's where I saw that.
I'd have to rewatch the 2014. Oh my god, it's been 8 years since then. So no wonder I can't really remember.
Yeah,
But
I don't know how I remember it, but again, I've got a better long-term memory than most people, so
mm,
and I hate saying that because I feel like I'm bragging, but I'm not.
how dare you?
I know, stupid.
So overall, positive experience.
I would
or-
say for experience, I'd give it probably 9 to 10 out of 10.
Well, there's actually another thing I'm curious about. Going at this time, because when we talked about this before we went, when we talked about it on our episode 0, we were a little bit worried. Like, what's it going to be like 5 years out? We haven't gone in 5 years. We're all either almost 30 or are 30. Is it going to be different? Did you feel it was different in any way? Was there anything that stood out that felt different to you, or?
It kind of just felt the same, really.
I feel the same way.
It just felt like I was getting back on a bike.
I agree. I completely agree.
It wasn't like new to me anymore, but it was
Right.
still just like, oh my God, I'm here again. Like, and not in a bad way, obviously. I'm like here
It felt
with.
like stepping back in time a little bit to
Mhm.
me. Like, I thought things might be a little bit different. I thought we might feel older as well. I didn't. Of course, there were younger people there.
But there were tons of people our age there too.
Tons of people our age and tons of people older than us as well. I really didn't feel like we've left the target age range for the con. So that's what I was worried about. Are we now outside the target demographic? I didn't think we were.
There was a big, healthy mix of young and old.
And
Like,
in the middle, everyone.
yeah,
there were kids. There were a lot more
tons
kids.
of kids. Tons of kids. More kids than I've seen at almost any.
Like kids.
But
Like
I think people
5,
here-
6, 4, 5, 6 years old that I saw.
In the last like 3 years, Comic Cons have exploded.
Really?
I don't know if you've known that.
I
Like,
don't.
like they have like exploded. Like, and I think when people come to these anime cons, that's what they're expecting. They're expecting like a Comic Con type experience.
It's
like,
not the same.
It is not the same.
Speaking of it not being the same, I felt like there was a lot of, which we've mentioned this a little bit with the panels. I felt there was a lot of 18+ stuff there.
There really
Like
was.
way more than I was used to seeing before.
Like there were just hentai out.
Yeah.
There was a figure that had like we were looking at it and it was a very busty figure. But I could have reached in and went boop and pulled down its loincloth or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
It was one of those.
There was just hentai manga sitting out uncovered. DVDs uncovered. There was like some crazy yaoi booths that had like not uncovered, but it was still pretty 18+.
Yeah.
I mean, I just felt like it was fine. Like, I'm not saying that anything against it. I just don't remember cons being this like adult.
At least not so spread out anyway.
Yeah. You'd find it in like because there was the Smut Hut.
Yeah,
this
where
con?
you go and there was that one really awkward one where they're like, come inside our tent. And you go and it was like some of the girls were like just pictures of a girl you just walked past and there's
I
just a
didn't
picture
go
of
in
her.
that. I remember when you went in that. That
that
was at
was-
like Midwest or ASIN.
Yeah, that was really awkward.
I didn't go in that. I remember you were really mad at us because we convinced you to go in there, and then we were
Yeah.
laughing at you after.
Yeah, you jerks.
Yeah, I remember you were so.
And then it was
mad.
awkward because I'm like looking at all these people that I just made eye
I
contact with,
thought
and
it
I'm
was
like,
that.
well,
I thought it was that at least one of the girls in the picture was in the room with you. Is that not it?
no.
Oh, okay. They were just outside,
No, you just walk in. Oh, yep, there are some pictures. Do you want to buy any? Nope, don't want to.
but they were IRL. They were real.
Yeah.
I didn't see any like real stuff. There's a lot of hentai, is what I mean.
Yeah.
But I didn't see any like real, at this con.
Yeah.
But yeah, but there was at this con they had the Smut Hut, which is what I'm more used to. They'll have a place at the con where like you show your ID and then they'll let you go in and look at this stuff if you want to. But at this Yoma, there were definitely booths where it was just out.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It was just interesting. That was another takeaway that I noticed. But
It was a good artist alley too. Ooh, hang on.
great artist alley. I didn't buy anything there, but
You did too buy something.
from the artist alley.
Yeah. Well, maybe not artist alley.
That was an artist alley.
You bought me. Will the camera go out of focus if I get up to
Yeah,
it?
it will.
Okay.
They're not gonna be
Well,
able
you
to see
can't see it, but the story. It's a little body pillow right here, and it's Godzilla, but
His butt is exposed, so
He's
maybe
got
it's good you can't see
it's
it.
got an exposed booty, and this is from my good friend here.
And Nate and I bought it together.
Yes,
We split
yes.
it.
Thank you, both of you. I thank Nate too. But they supposedly wanted to get me the big full version, but it was $40.
Yeah,
I
I saw
would've-
the huge one, and Dakota's birthday had just happened, so I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh shoot, we gotta get this for him. But yeah, it was not gonna happen.
No, the $10 one's perfect. I was showing people on my work and they were laughing. But I also got this really neat little pin. It's an Allosaurus pin because the lady that ran it just did dinosaurs in that style. And I got Silver the Hedgehog.
You're a big pin guy, huh?
Yeah, I like pins a lot.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I used to collect pins a lot. You
I still have
remember
'em.
My bag used to have pins all over it.
Mhm.
You have my pins? Did I give them to you?
Yeah, they're packed away. I've been trying to find them, but I can't. I know I have them. I just don't know where they're at.
Every now and then, it's maybe once a year, I have a viewer from back in the day. They'll send me a picture where they still have the convention reviews pins that we made.
Oh my god.
We made like 100 of them only and handed them out. So they're pretty exclusive. That's pretty rare, dude. You
That's
could probably
pretty rare,
sell
dude.
that for a lot of money.
Cha-ching, little cha-ching, brah.
Yeah, I don't think I have any. I gave them all away. You might have one if I gave you one, but I don't know.
I don't think I took one. I don't know if you wanted to give me one or if I just didn't want one.
I might not have wanted to give.
I
them
know
to
what it was.
people-
If I wanted one, you were gonna make me pay for it.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Pay for it? But
You
I
would've-
gave them for free to viewers.
You would have made me. I think you wanted me to pay for it.
I
could be
doubt
wrong.
that,
I might be
bro.
remembering that
I really
wrong.
doubt that.
I
think,
could be remembering
I
that
think
wrong.
if I didn't give you one, it's because we only had 100 and I didn't want to give it away. I
But-
wanted to give it to viewers.
I also feel like I might have just not wanted one for that reason.
Maybe.
It was either you wanted me to pay for it
I really don't think I wanted
or
I cannot.
the other reason that we mentioned.
I think there was a time when I was a bit more douchey, but I don't think I would have done that. That seems really, really douchey.
Well, that's because you're just a douchebag. No.
I don't know. But all in all, though, yeah, I think it didn't feel any different.
No.
Yoma didn't feel any different. I felt happy and happy with the experience. I do wish we would have been in the Rinsen. That's the only difference. The
Are
only
you
thing.
going now? Are you going to be going to any more cons in the future?
I was about to mention that. I did. I don't think I mentioned it on here yet. I was on Facebook just scrolling, which is weird because I rarely do that anymore. But for some reason, I was bored and I was scrolling Facebook. And Asen had posted a hotel blog just 23 minutes before. And I know from prior experience, Asen's hotel blogs, they sell out in like an hour or less. So I was like, this might even be sold out already, but I'm going to check it.
And then
it-
but one thing or another, you're like, huh? I've gone this far.
Yeah, I checked it. It wasn't sold out. I was like, shoot. And they still had, is it okay?
Yeah, it's just my mom.
They still had double, like 2 beds available, which is what we always want. We don't want to get the 1 bed in the room. And then I saw that there's no charge until 3 days before the con. You can cancel before all money back.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, F it. I'm going to just get a room for Asen. And I did. And I thought people might be like, well, this was before Yoma happened. So I didn't know how Yoma was going to go. But I thought there's definitely a chance people would be like, I'm not into it. You know, Yoma was cool, but I don't know if I want to keep doing it. But everyone I've told about it is like, yeah, I want to go. I'm interested.
That's because it's ASEN, man. That's
Yeah.
I don't know if it is still, but at one point it was the 3rd biggest in the country.
Oh, you're right. 3rd biggest. Yeah,
Behind Oda and
yeah.
LA.
Anime Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Oda was number 2, wasn't it?
Otakon? Yeah,
Yeah.
number 2.
Yeah.
At one point at least. I don't know anymore, but yeah. So, and Asen's like Chicago. Chicago is like Convention Review's home. It's not our home. We're from Indiana, and I guess really our home is Crossroads.
No. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
But the venue we've been to the most, the area where we always see the most viewers, where we know the most people, is always Chicago.
Now, the con that we have been to the most out there is Anime Midwest. We won't get into that, but I don't think we're going to be going to that one.
Yeah, we won't be returning to Midwest.
For
I guess
various
unless there's
reasons.
like a management change,
Yeah.
then maybe.
Yeah,
But
again, we don't need to get into that, but
we don't need to get into it, but I'll just say it is sad because I know a lot of people didn't like Midwest for other
it was
reasons.
a good con.
But for us, excluding the big controversy and the big reason that people don't go, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should just Google it. But other than that, we loved Midwest
Yeah.
always. We thought the con itself was really fun.
That was always very well organized,
Yeah.
very well run.
But we'll go to ASIN instead.
yeah, like we don't need to be supporting.
And we've been to
anything.
ASIN like many, many times. It's not like we didn't go to ASIN.
It always felt the same too.
It just felt bigger.
Just bigger.
Yeah, which I think I like medium-sized cons more. So I think
That's why we liked Midwest more, is because it was like ASIN, but not as stressful.
Now there's a new con called Anime Magic. I think
I've heard of it.
Justin Pineda.
I've heard of
You
it.
guys might know. He makes a lot of con videos.
Friend
He
of
was
the
telling me
channel.
about it. Yeah, friend of the channel. Shout out. He was telling me about it. It's in the same venue. He said it's basically like the new Midwest,
All right.
but it's in like August or September,
What a weird time for a convention.
which is just too bad because I don't know if I'm gonna be here or not because I'm planning a trip to Japan and then Korea fall 2023. So I mean, who knows that nothing's set in stone yet, but I would have loved to go to that.
Yeah.
I don't know though. But so what do you feel? Yeah, because I feel I booked ASIN. I'm actually pretty excited about it, and I feel excited to go to some more cons.
Now, me and Ariel, my wife, we had already said we're making next year all about, like, our big thing.
Yeah,
is
you
next year.
mentioned though.
It's going to be all about us. We're, working on us and getting better physically, mentally, just trying to do
Marriage
more stuff with each other. I don't know about that, but we're just trying to do more stuff with each other because this past year's been a little rough.
a little
but-
loosey goosey.
Yeah, but so we're trying to do stuff for us and make it more about us. And I said, well, one of the things we can do is anime. You mentioned Anime Crossroads. I mean, her and I are just going to go to that one. Again, you might end up going to that one.
When is it?
End of February, beginning of March.
We'll see.
But we're going to try to go to that one just for us. At least stay for one night. I don't know if we'll stay the whole weekend, but at least stay for one night and, have that small little intimate con experience. It's at a different hotel this year, too.
Is
Not-
it
yeah, it's not at the Wyndham this year.
a brand new one for
I don't know.
Crossroads? We're not going back to the first one.
I wish.
Was it 21st Street? And
I don't remember.
Shadeland,
Something like
21st,
that.
Something like that.
I still pass by that hotel and I'm like,
Yeah.
like every time I'm like, man, I know it wasn't a great venue because you watch those
It was
videos.
tiny. Oh my god, but we loved it.
And I was thinking of that garage sale that we went to and how nice it looked. I told Ariel, I said,
They have a garage sale at Yoma. Is what
Yeah.
he's talking about every Thursday.
I said, this is nice, but this is probably just about a step below what the dealer's room was
Yeah,
at our
it
first.
was below for sure. It was below, but just a step below.
It was just one. It was like one step up, you got dealer's room. But
They did have like swords and stuff because that's where I
Yeah.
bought my first sword. Was at that dealer's room.
yeah, they had goods. It was like a legit dealer's room, but it was like the garage sale was just one step below what that dealer's room was from our first convention. Cause
But-
it was,
I'm never gonna forget getting home from that first con and feeling like I remember saying that was the best weekend of my life.
I felt the same because I mean I'd never been around so many people, so many like-minded people, so many strange people because I was still starting to get into the anime culture at the time.
That's true.
I was into anime, but it was when I was first starting to get into like the culture of it and the camaraderie.
I mean, me too. All of us. This is our first con. Yeah.
And like you said, I remember going and telling one of my family members, I was like, man, that was just. I was only 19 at the time. I was like, man, I needed that weekend. I need that weekend now is what I need.
Yeah.
But
I wish we could go back in time and like do that, just that exact weekend again, just to compare it to what we know now. We'd probably be like, this kind of sucks.
But you go back and it was such a unique setup of the con too, because you
very
walk
different.
in, immediately to your left, dealer's room. And then you go and there's 3 or 4 different panel rooms. They had a small little game room. And then there was the game room, like arcade room, was in like the foyer.
Yeah.
There was this like big
Totally
ball.
forgot about that. Yeah, it was
like-
all out.
Yeah, it was this big open, I don't know what I guess like a foyer.
Yeah,
however you want
it
to
was like
pronounce
an
it.
open. It was a small atrium. I think.
Yeah.
A very small atrium.
And they would just have like
Ballroom.
little.
Not a ballroom. It was open.
They had a small little DJ party there,
Yeah.
some big arcade cabinets set up, and then there was the rave, of course. And we, of course, at the time were like, "This is the greatest thing we've ever seen."
Man, I should rewatch that video and see what that rave really looked like.
We did a few years ago. We looked it up, like with you. It was, I think, before you went to the Philippines, and we
It
were like,
had to be.
let's look up and see what that looked like. And it was like this little dinky little.
Really?
It was such a dinky little rave, and there were in the memory, I'm like, man, we were all going crazy and it was insane. And then I looked and there were like 4 people in there.
I think the reason we loved it so much is because we didn't know it existed. We just went downstairs at that time, and there was a rave happening.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is going on? So it was crazy.
And we didn't know that was just the norm.
Yeah, that's just a thing. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say a rave. I believe raves are illegal in Indiana. There was a dance party happening, an anime dance party.
Yeah.
Definitely not a rave. There was no raving. Okay?
Not by you.
I wasn't raving. I did not break any laws that week.
I was stuck raving mad.
But so yeah, anyway, going back, you're gonna go to Crossroads next year, but do you feel like you want to go to more cons, or do you feel like this maybe a few, not as much as before? Or
I'd be fine to go. I don't think I could afford to go to near as many, but probably 2 to 3 a year max.
that's
maybe.
what I'm feeling. 2 or 3 a year.
Some of the big ones. I don't know if I'd want to do Yoma again next year.
I'm thinking the same thing.
I love
Yoma's too
Yoma.
expensive.
It's
dude.
too expensive, but honestly, I'd be fine. Like we always were, I'm fine with just the smaller, medium-sized, intimate cons.
I like the more intimate
It just
atmosphere.
because Yoma, it felt too big this year. I think it felt like it is almost outgrowing itself.
Well, then I changed my videos this year. I don't know if I'm gonna go back. All my vlogs are not out by the time I'm making this. I don't know if they will be by the time this is posted. But I did not film. I filmed a couple of cosplay. Because I was trying to do what you said, where I used them as a transition, like an eye catcher.
Oh,
So I filmed a couple, but there wasn't enough to actually. So I might try it in some of the next few vlogs. I haven't edited that yet, but I did not film enough cosplay to do a music video. So I don't know if I'll ever go back to that or not, but I always like the big cons just because the options for music video is so wide. But for personal taste, I definitely like more intimate, for sure.
because I mean, especially at a small con, like say Crossroads, at any given point in the weekend, you're probably just gonna see one of the guests out and
Yeah,
about.
that was cool. We thought that. I think that spoiled us. We thought that could happen way more because there were
and it
multiple
does.
times.
It does, but it's not
It's not.
near.
It has happened a handful of times that we've gone to cons, but I remember it seemed like it happened a lot at that
Like,
con.
There was, say at EvilCon, there was a voice actor there who, some controversy around them now, but at the time there was no controversy. And they would just be out and about, hanging out.
Can we say their name? You don't want to say their name? There was no controversy back then.
I mean, it was Vic Mignogna.
I really feel like I want to say his name because it was at our first con too, like Crossroads. There was zero controversy back then, so
At least that we knew of.
that we knew of. Yeah, this was our first con. We didn't know anything.
And
Vic Mignogna halfway made that con for us.
And again, don't read into that. That's not us.
This was 2011, guys.
Yeah,
and we didn't know anything about
Things are
anyone.
different now. Things have come to light about him.
We were 19, 2011. This was our first time getting into any of this community.
So-
But he was all over the place, and with our friend Tyler, he was like, what happened with that? You should go back and watch those vlogs. But he had Tyler come up and like filmed things with him. He remembered him
Yeah, because we saw him again at another
at
con.
ASIN.
Yeah.
Our second con we ever went to was ASIN, which was a huge, very different from our first con. But he had some kind of video that he did, and Tyler was in it. So that like blew our mind back in the day.
Yeah, but again, that's controversy aside, that's then we don't support anything now, obviously. And it's good that he's probably out of the industry.
He definitely wasn't at this con. That's
No.
for sure.
No.
Yeah. I actually don't know who the guests were at this con. I didn't even look.
There aren't really. It was one of the big voice actor that I saw was the guy who does Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, that's the problem is I maybe watch one dub a year. So.
I go back and forth. I jump around. Sometimes I'll watch
I know
a
you
dub.
watch more than me, yeah. So
Yeah, I watch dubs a lot, but I'll watch a sub. Like I'm watching Bleach sub. By the way, I'll get into that in a minute because we're gonna talk about Bleach.
we are.
Just a little bit. I
We
want to
should
talk.
transition soon. Then I'm getting a little thirsty. I forgot to bring water.
You want some of mine? No.
That's okay.
But like I met Megaran, like you saw.
I just saw him sitting there, and I wanted to go say hi to him, but there's no one talking to him.
That's why I was like, I was in line to meet Walter E. Jones, the Black Power Ranger, the original Black Power Ranger.
Didn't know he was there.
Yep, he was there, and I was in line to meet, and there was another one or two other Power Rangers there, but I didn't watch their shows, so I wasn't excited. No offense to those people who like those, but I did like Walter E. Jones. I was like, sweet, I'll go meet him. And I'm waiting in line, and I'm in the back of the line. I look over, and Megaran's right next to him, and nobody's in the line. And I was like, I'll go get a picture with Megaran real quick. So
I should have done it too.
I popped out of line, went Megaran. He came around from his booth, fist bumped me, got a picture with me. You know, I told him that I was a big fan.
I need to follow
liked his
him
music.
on Spotify right now, actually.
He thanked me, and and got my picture, gave me another fist bump. I went and got back in line for Walter E. Jones, right where I was.
That's hilarious.
But I didn't get to meet Walter E. Jones because I wanted a picture. I don't really get much on autographs anymore.
We've talked about that in the past.
I mean, I like them. Don't get me wrong, and I'll get them. But I'd rather a picture myself.
I never understood waiting in like a 2-hour line for
for an autograph.
Yeah.
You know, I prefer an autograph. If I'm gonna get an autograph, I'd like a picture as well. But personally,
do that Polaroid and then have him sign the.
Dude. Well, I went and I was like, "Can I get a picture with him?" And they're like, $60. Autographs are free. Pictures are $60.
Yoma?
Yes, dude.
Is that new? Cons used to not charge
That's
like
what
that.
I said. Well, I'm in a Power Ranger group, and I mentioned that in the group. And the admin said it's his management team. Does that.
You're probably right because he's probably normally going to Comic-Cons where that is common. I think it's like anime guests. Normally you don't experience that. Or if there is a charge, it's minimal.
Yeah, it's like $20 maybe.
Max. At least back in the day.
Yeah, it might have changed because I was telling Ariel that my wife, I was like, man, I was really, because I was disappointed because I was like, it was a short line. I was like, I might wait 10 minutes to see him. Get a picture with, someone from my childhood. By the way, dude's cut.
Really?
Dude, had this tight shirt on. And I wasn't looking, but I was like, whew.
Sounds like you were looking.
Maybe a little.
Look, this is a judgment-free podcast.
I was like, oof. That's a handsome man. But anyway.
That's cool, though. Did you pay it?
No.
Oh.
I didn't have I'd already spent quite a bit of money that weekend. If it had been the beginning.
But you got Megaran.
I did get Megaran. He was free, and that was
Did you at
cool.
least shake his hand?
I fist bumped him.
Okay.
Because I try not to fist bump anymore. Or shake hands anymore, things like these. Not because I'm a germaphobe, but I understand that a lot of the guests might be.
Well, I would hope.
So I'm looking out for Megaran.
I would hope that if you're a guest at a con or something like this, at least for me, I would have a big bottle of hand sanitizer
Absolutely.
right there.
Well, what made me start fist bumping instead of shaking hands is when I met Adam West, like a handful of years ago.
Oh.
Like me and you both.
Yeah, we met him.
And I went to shake his hand, and he's a feeble old man at this point.
Yeah.
And I went, nice to meet you, Mr. West. And he was like, hey, how are you doing?
I remember that.
And I was like,
he fist bumped us.
Yeah, and that was even more special because then I made him laugh.
That was PopCon?
Awesome Con.
Oh my god, I forgot about Awesome Con.
Yeah.
We went to one day of that and we never. Does that still exist?
Nope.
Holy crap, that's a blast from the past.
And speaking of conventions, before we move on, my dad he's a convention goer now too. My dad and his wife. Yeah, they go to the Walking Dead conventions.
Oh,
or at least
cool.
used to. My dad fell off of Walking Dead. His wife still loves it, but they've met several of the cast members from that.
Pretty cool.
But at one of the conventions, my dad and he told me when I was a kid even, his favorite TV show was a TV show called The $6 Million Man. You may have heard of it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was about kind of like, he was a bionic man kind of guy. He was, they spent $6 million replacing his parts, and now he can run really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my dad's hero. Like, he told me about that when I was a kid, and then he said he went to one con, and there wasn't a line. He said the $6 Million Man was there. No line, but he was starstruck. And he didn't go say hi, and he kicked himself for years. A few weeks ago, we found out that this weekend there is a smaller convention, Fanboy Expo's taking place at the fairgrounds, and he's the headlining guest.
Did it happen yet, or it's coming up?
It just happened,
Oh.
and my dad spent the $171.
No.
No, like he's happy about it because he got.
I mean, yeah, if you're
picture,
happy,
he
I
got
just
the whole
can't
deal.
believe it.
He got the picture and the autograph deal. He got the whole works. So he went.
Bro.
My dad got to meet his childhood hero, and you can see. I'll show you the picture later. You can.
I mean, that's really exciting, but
Yeah.
is that $170
It might not.
inflation,
I
or
don't
is
know.
that
It might have been cheaper than that. I'm
100
exaggerating.
something?
Yeah, I'm exaggerating. It was over $100, but it was.
Phew.
But yeah, he was happy about it. He got the autograph, posted it.
I mean, to think about it, my childhood hero is if I had to pick anybody, it's probably Mike Shinoda. Would I pay that? Maybe. I have to think about it.
It's not just someone like me when I was a kid. Like I liked Walter E. Jones, the Black Power Ranger,
I would definitely pay that to meet Chester.
but I didn't feel like paying $60 to meet Walter E. Jones.
Right.
However, you throw Hugh Jackman,
Oh, Dakota would have dropped 500.
I'll take a loan.
Oh, Hugh Jackman? Hold on, I'm gonna need to run to the bank.
Hang
real
on,
quick.
hang on.
I'll be back.
I gotta
I'm gonna
get
open
my
a credit card.
I got to get my credit up. Hang on.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I mean, I believe that though. You would do everything you could, I believe. Dude.
You'd think that, but he was here touring a few months ago.
He?
But it was even for like nosebleed seats because he's got his show called One Man One Show or something like that, and he did come to Indiana and at one point, and then even in Florida, and my mother-in-law wanted to try and get tickets for me and Ariel to come down to Florida and then see the show, but just didn't quite work out like that. So still have yet to meet Hugh Jackman, but I keep kicking you. I'm sorry. Still have yet to meet Hugh Jackman, but I've thought about it.
Gotta do it soon. He's on his last leg.
Dude, Kevin Conroy just died.
He's on his last leg. How old is Hugh Jackman?
He's like in his 50s.
Oh, he's fine. He should be fine.
But then again, Kevin Conroy just died. And you played the Batman Arkham games and watched the Batman cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
He's Batman. The
How
voice.
old is he?
He was 66.
Yeah, that's young.
That's pretty
Shouldn't
young.
be dead yet. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Lot
But
of
I think he
people-
had cancer.
Oh, I see.
I think he had a lot of health problems.
Okay, so we have talked about conventions for an hour and 15 minutes, which I doubt anybody has a problem with. But
No.
I do want to move on.
Yeah, me too.
There's two shows I want to talk about.
Okay.
Shows we talked about last time. I'm honestly considering making this, if the audio and everything is fine on this, just making this episode 1. We can talk about that later.
That's fine with me.
Just if you guys don't know, if it never gets posted, I hope it does. But we did another episode last week where there were some major audio issues, and I've been trying to fix it, but I'm really struggling with it.
Maybe you can just work on that little by little, and when it's done, you
Release
just
it at some point.
upload it as like a special or
That's
something.
what I'm thinking. But let's see. I need to make sure this all sounded good. I am pretty sure it does, but anyway, we talked about a couple of these shows last week is what I'm getting at. Or
Okay.
last episode that we had filmed, whether that's posted or not.
Now, do you think we're going to talk about these weekly?
I don't want to talk about these every week. For us, it's been like 3 weeks since we actually met up. But there's just two I want to talk about.
Okay. Maybe we can keep it to...
I want to keep the podcast more like evergreen, that you can listen to it whenever you want.
Okay.
So if we do talk about these shows, I want to talk about them in a more general sense, not like this happened in this episode, like we're reviewing this episode this week or something.
So maybe just we'll talk about like this episode if something big happens.
Yeah, if there's some big thing
that we want to
or-
just like discuss, not like review, just discuss.
Yeah, I want to generally, and I want to know what you guys think in the comments, but I want to generally keep things on like a broader topic that can be enjoyed at any point in time.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be like, well, what are they talking about? Like, I'm not keeping up with this. Maybe I'm listening to this like 3 years later.
Yeah, like so if we want to say one day we're like, oh, we're gonna commit to talking about an anime one day. Say we do that.
I want to talk about that anime broadly.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about Chainsaw Man because it's topical.
Well, I do want to talk about Chainsaw Man today,
But
but I
you-
don't want to talk. I want to talk about it broadly.
Yeah. Like if we're gonna say today we are strictly talking about anime, it needs to
right.
be broad.
Yeah, that's. Let us know what you guys think of that in the comments. But
Yeah.
that's sort of the idea.
Not that it would be like that because we tend to not stick to a strict talk about this. If we talk about it like with the cons thing, that's just what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's always just gonna be like this is what we're talking about today, and let's see where it goes.
I do think occasionally it would be neat for one of us, not all the time, maybe like if we see a funny story or something happen, maybe we could bring that in and discuss the story.
Yeah, we can do stuff like that. It's just I mean, I think we get the idea.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let's start with Do you want to start with the one that we can both talk about? You haven't seen Chainsaw Man, right?
Tell me about Chainsaw Man.
Okay. I only wanted to talk about Chainsaw Man because I just caught up on it this morning.
Now,
And-
there's 3, 4 episodes?
There are 5 now.
5.
And the new
Oh, that's right. It
one-
started the same day as Bleach.
Yeah, it's exactly. Or I think it's one day off from Bleach. Bleach
Okay.
started. No. It does come out the same
They're
day.
both
as
every
Bleach.
Monday.
Same day. Yeah. Which is an awesome. Start the week
It's a
off right.
great way to start the week.
I only wanted to talk about it because when we talked about this last time, you mentioned you were not watching it and that you didn't act like you had any plans to watch it. And I wanted to know, has that changed?
Nope. I'm still probably going to end up reading it.
I really want you to watch it, man.
Can't.
That's why I'm bringing it up.
Is he still CG?
No, that's what I wanted to get at. Is watching these next 3 episodes, because I had seen 2 when we talked about it before. I'm way hotter on. I'm way like more excited about it. There have been way more fight scenes where he looks awesome. The animation is insanely good, which is why I kind of want you to watch it and not read it, because I know that the art in the manga is supposed to be really special. It's supposed to look really cool too, but there's so many moments when I'm watching it where I'm like, this looks like movie budget anime, like as for a show. It looks incredible.
And is it not And it's not CG. At least not
In
all
the
time.
first episode, there were some issues. I had some issues. I would say 99% of the show is not CG.
Okay.
Every now and then, like during a fight or something, when they've got, because he can have 3 chainsaws that he can bring out, 1 from his face and 2 from his hands. When they've got all 3 chainsaws out and he's doing some crazy stuff, he may be CG for a second, but it's just, at least in the later episodes, not the first one, it had been only for a second and it had been a lot of movement and action, so it's hard to really tell anyway what's happening, so it didn't bother me. First episode, I think it only bothered me because there's a time where, if you ever watch it, you'll see he stands there like an idle animation, like from a video game. That bothered me. That has never happened since.
See, when you first told me that, I was like, done.
I get that.
Like, because they'll just rely, because I know anime studios, when they find that cheap, easy way of doing CGI, they run with it.
But Dakota, I hate to be that. I hate to do this and like be like, you have to watch this because it's so good. But because we hate to talk something up like that. But I just feel like we're witnessing what could be like the anime of the first half of this decade at least, and you're not watching it.
So this decade's Attack on Titan.
Yes, I do feel like this is this decade's Attack on Titan.
All right, I'll give it a chance.
Like the thing I just feel like you should just do it because I feel like you're not gonna get away from this. Chainsaw Man is everywhere. Everywhere I go, I'm seeing Chainsaw Man stuff. The con, it was everywhere, and there's only 5 episodes. It's only gonna get bigger from here.
Okay.
Like you should just give in now and watch it.
Maybe I will.
I really want to know.
I have thought about it because the more I see, the more I'm like, man, I should just watch. But then I'm like, but if it's not that much CG,
the thing about it is, and I don't want to give too much away because I want you to be able to experience it for yourself. I just think whatever you think it is, it's probably not what you think it is. Because I had a preconceived idea of what I thought it was. I had seen images, this guy with a chainsaw for a head. I thought it's gonna be like, I don't know what I thought it was gonna be, but you can get an idea from those images and what you hear people say about it. It's not what I thought, and it's in a really good way. But that's all I want to say about it. I really hope you watch it.
Sorry, Ava.
I don't know if they can see that. I think you're in the way. Evangelion, baby.
Still, I've only seen the first 2 movies.
I've seen 3. The third one was awesome.
I think when we watched them all here, the first 2 were out and dubbed because we weren't like, we were wanting to. I think a couple of us were still a little in on dub and sub.
There was a time, yeah.
And so but the third one was out, and I feel like we watched it, but I can't remember. We either watched it or it was out but not dubbed. And then we kept waiting and waiting and waiting for it to get dubbed, and it never did. And then the next thing we know, the 4th movie's coming out. And then we just never got around to... I never got around to seeing it.
Have you watched the Ava show?
No, I know how it ends, and I don't like that ending.
The ending is really frustrating, but everything up until the ending is great. I loved it.
See, that's how my sister Jada, she watched...
Really?
Yeah, Jada, she just been watching anime without me even telling her.
But there's a movie, End of Evangelion, that like helps pull that ending.
But isn't there like
together into
19
something.
different timelines? It's the same thing with Fate. You know, I tried getting into Fate, but there's like a billion different timelines.
It's not exactly like that. It's just one timeline. It's just at the end it gets wonky. It gets deep. Some people are gonna be mad at me for using quotes like that, but
It's not
to me,
deep.
I found it annoying because I liked it a lot, and then at the end, it felt like they just wanted to force in these deeper ideas and concepts that didn't feel like they needed to be there in a show that was already really good up to that point.
Listen, I listen to a lot of lo-fi.
Me too.
And they often will put in moments from anime.
Yeah.
And I've heard about a billion songs with not Renji, what's his name?
Shinji.
If I can't be myself, then I don't want to be myself, but I want to like myself, so I gotta be myself. But if I don't like myself, I can't be myself. Stop. Stop. You're trying too hard. Stop. You're an anime about giant fighting robots.
I mean, I don't want to. I just think it's not what I was looking for. I think there's clearly a lot of people are into that.
I don't get it.
It's not what I was looking for. But
again, if you like it, fine. That's perfect. Good for you. It's not for me.
Actually, before we talk about Bleach, I did mention this a little bit to you when you came in before we started recording. Chris, my brother, and I did see One Piece film Red.
Oh, yeah.
Which was awesome. There's a lot of CG in that.
There is?
I'm getting a little angry at One Piece. They keep putting more and more CG in. Kaido's CG a lot in the anime nowadays.
They're relying so heavy on this.
Uta, just as a person. She's not anything crazy. She's just a girl. There are moments where she's completely CG.
Like when she's not even doing anything?
She's just in the concert, like dancing in the concert, and she's CG.
Does it look smooth or is it choppy?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
But I mean, I liked the movie as a whole, and that wasn't all the time.
Then if you can get past that, you need to watch a new Dragon Ball movie. The whole movie CG. Now, it's the opposite effect of that though, where it's like there are times where the movie looks 2D.
Oh, right.
I
mean, that's how I was feeling.
Like
about
during most
Chainsaw
of the
Man.
fights, actually,
Mhm.
the fights mostly look 2D.
I mean, dude, if you're watching that movie, I mean, I've seen the trailer, and I'll admit it looks like good CG for sure. You can definitely watch Chainsaw Man. I think you will be annoyed with that first episode, like I said.
I'm so sorry.
Where he does the idol animation, but everything else will be fine.
I'm sure I'll get over it.
But One Piece film Red, awesome. I think there was a big thing. I think the best thing about it, and if you don't want to hear this, I'm going to put spoilers on the screen right now. This is not I'm not spoiling any sort of story, anything like that, but if you want to hear nothing about this movie, do you care?
I'm fine. Yeah, go ahead.
The biggest thing for me that I loved was that we get to see Shanks and his crew's powers.
Ooh, don't tell me anything else.
I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh.
I'm just saying the fact that we get to see them fight. Is awesome.
Now, do they work it into the canon? How do they work this into the canon?
I don't think this is in the canon. When I was watching this, I felt like there was a time early on where I looked at Chris and I was like, this cannot fit the timeline. Because, okay, now we really are going into One Piece spoilers a little. We see Big Mom.
Okay.
Sitting in her place in like her...
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. She's just chilling there with like half of her kids.
There's no way.
Yeah, she's watching the concert. And I'm like, Big Mom can't be watching the concert. And because later we have Gear 5th. It's like, we cannot have Gear 5th and have Big Mom watching the concert. Those cannot coexist in the same world.
They need to quit making these semi-canon, semi-non-canon movies. They need to stick to like, 'cause they need to quit making movies with canon elements. Like, like what's his name? Shinji the Golden Lion, or whatever his name is.
Oh, not Shinji.
Shiki the Golden Lion. Like, Shiki the Golden Lion is a real character.
He's in the canon of One Piece.
And he's in the canon, but he's and he's awesome.
Yeah.
But the only time you see him is in the non-canon movie.
I think this one with the canon, non-canon stuff annoyed me the most because, yeah, it was stuff like that where, like, Big Mom can't be there, even if... This is really spoilers for the manga, guys. This is really spoilers for the manga if you want to skip ahead. Even if Big Mom is alive, she's not going to be just chilling back at her island, like Whole Cake Island, just watching Uta's concert. That's not happening. Yeah, I don't know. There was... That stuff was interesting. But there was one more thing. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, I mentioned this to you, but I guess I'll say for anyone who's worried, Gear 5th is shown for like 2 frames. I don't know why they put it in there. I really don't know why it had to be there at all. It felt like a tease to anime only fans, so that they'd be like, "What is that? What, did I just see that right? That's crazy."
It's like seeing shiny Ho-Oh at the beginning of
Yes,
Pokemon.
100%. It was that fast, if not faster. Nothing is mentioned about it. No one points anything out. It's just like a shot of his face, but like not with the correct colors. It's like obscure. There's like fire happening, and then at his back from far away, it's like literally 2 seconds of Gear Fifth.
Mm-mm.
It was weird.
I'm glad they're not doing that in the movie, though, because it's
I agree.
such a big deal in the manga.
I agree. We should get off of this, though.
Let's talk about Bleach before we get out of here.
Hold on. Let me take the spoiler thing off. Okay, we had some major One Piece spoilers there.
All right.
If you didn't want to hear that. All right, Bleach.
So, Bleach, dude. Oh, man, this episode. Oh, it got me. Did I tell
The
you
last episode?
this most recent one?
Do we need to put spoilers again?
I think we might need to.
Really? For the most recent Bleach episode?
In a little bit. We'll get
Okay.
there. What did you think of it?
It was, I think I cannot wait for tomorrow. That's for sure.
No, dude. I know.
Is this changed from the manga, or is everything exactly the same as the manga?
They added a little bit. That scene where you see the younger head captain.
Oh, that's added?
They don't do that at all in the manga.
Really? That
Yeah.
added a lot for me.
It did.
That made me care. I did not care before that.
Yeah.
When that dude died, sorry, spoiler, but that's episode 1.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big spoiler. There's this guy who dies. When he died, I didn't care at all. I'm like, who is this dude? When they added that backstory, I suddenly cared.
That's not in the manga, and it's like
That was nice. That was nice.
It's very yeah. They talk about him getting the because he just has the one scar.
Oh.
They mention that and that but they don't show any of it. They
I
just
see, I
talk
see, I
about
see.
it. So, and they do a lot of stuff like that in the manga where I'm thinking like the main bad guy Yuhabak. Yes, that's how you pronounce his name.
Yuhabak?
I know it's
You mean
not.
the bearded guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hate his name.
Mm.
YW. I can't. It looks like
Are they
Ewatch.
all German? Like,
Yeah,
is this
they're all,
based off German?
Yeah, so yeah, the Soul Society, all Japanese.
Right, for sure.
Waco Mundo and all that, all Hispanic.
For sure.
And Quincy, I'm not sure what the Stern Ritters are based on. No, not Stern Ritters. Fullbringers. I'm not sure if they're based on anything, but the Quincy are all German.
Yeah,
Like,
I
all their
felt
attacks,
that.
Blutwein, Volstandik.
I gotta say, man, I realized something. It wasn't in the newest one. It was maybe 2 episodes
Vandenreich.
ago, 2 or 3 episodes back. I said before that I don't like Quincy's. I
told
love
you.
Quincy's.
I told you that would
I
change.
realized I just don't like Ishida.
Yeah, that's because I was the same way.
Yeah,
Like I'm the same. I think he's the most bland character.
he is boring.
He's so boring.
The rest of the Quincy's are awesome and so diverse, so cool.
The thing about him, though, both of us dislike him. I promise he's going to become the biggest deal.
In a good way? Am I gonna like it?
In a way.
In a way.
In a way. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
And you're just gonna have to get used to it.
I mean, I don't expect him to disappear, but
so that was good that they added that because it adds, and I'm hoping they do more stuff like that because there's things with the main bad guy that towards the end of the manga that they just are like, no, how could you?
yeah, I do think this
It's
was I've had
yeah.
a little bit of shock on some of these episodes of like these guys are way too strong. Like, how is this possible? I was getting Attack on Titan vibes of like the brutality, which I've never seen from Bleach. I've seen brutality in Bleach, but not on this level. And just the fact that they're like in the walls of the Soul Society and everyone's getting like slaughtered. I was like,
Where you're supposed to be safe.
yeah, it was actually really giving me Attack on Titan vibes. I felt suddenly.
And I know what's coming. So like I'm
Oh, we're
sitting
not
there.
even there.
Huh?
Oh, there's gonna be more? Or you mean earlier?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
dude.
I don't want to know.
You're about to be mad.
Okay.
There's gonna be
I
so many
was
things.
excited to see Renji and Rukia finally, even though everyone's just getting thrown around and trash, and Yeah.
Ruki will come in a big bad way.
I am a little worried. This is a little bit of a spoiler. I'm gonna just put this on for episode 5. Little spoiler, episode 5 of Bleach. Ichigo stuck in like a prison realm.
I don't remember
gonna
that from
last
the
for a long
manga.
time? Because I'm like, this is
it
annoying.
doesn't. It
Okay.
doesn't. That from what I can remember, but I don't remember it being that annoying.
Because I'm just thinking back. I'm like, didn't in the Aizen arc, like at the end, Ichigo was gone for like 50 episodes and everyone else fought, and I'm like, can we get Ichigo out here?
Yes.
Like,
No, you're gonna have moments like that where there are gonna be those classic Bleach moments, but the character hype moments that are coming up are so character hype that you won't even really and then when Ichigo does come back, you're gonna be like, oh my god!
I mean, that's how it always was when he came in the Aizen.
Oh, but
fight.
there's gonna be moments that on top of that, oh my god, you're gonna be like, and now Ichigo's here too.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty sick. Let me take this off really quick.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Quincy so far, and I don't think this is a spoiler because I'm not gonna tell anything that happened with this.
I know who mine is, but go ahead.
The one fighting Byakuya. Is that his name? Byakuya?
Asnot.
Is that his
Asnot's pretty freaking cool.
Byakuya's his name, right?
Yeah.
He's my favorite so far, just from what I've seen.
Asnot's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's giving Chris and I both like Yolkiora vibes. At least so far, like a Quincy version of Yolkiora.
Asnot is a they.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, my bad. I thought they said, or maybe the subs I watched say.
Maybe even a she, but
Oh.
they bring that up later.
Oh, it's gonna be a point.
A small point,
Oh,
but
I see.
they do. I'm pretty sure Asnot.
Okay, well they are my favorite Quincy. I really like them.
Wait till you meet Baz B. You've
Okay.
already sort of met Baz B,
Uh-huh.
but you haven't seen him.
Okay. No, I don't want to hear anymore.
Baz B is awesome.
Are they? I am curious because you've read the manga. Are they rushing through this? Like, I feel like a lot happens every episode. Is this like 4 chapters per episode? Like,
I don't know what it was for this last one, but yeah, they are kind of.
I mean, I'm loving the pace. I'm
No,
not
it's
complaining.
good.
But
The pacing, I think, is very good.
a big complaint on Bleach that it always had was that the fights were way too long. And if we can get those faster and keep all the best moments, I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Baz B is when they first, you don't see him, but when they first enter the Soul Society, and then you see that big orange, like, flame come through.
I don't remember it.
Well, if you watch it again, that's Baz B.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see. But I'm really high on it. Bleach is awesome.
Now, this is where we're going to have to get into the spoilery.
Really? We're gonna have to put a spoiler?
Yeah, I got to talk about this. Sorry, guys, I got to talk about it.
Okay, if you've seen all of... We're up to episode 5.
Yeah.
If you've seen through episode 5 of Bleach, what is it, 1,000 Year Blood War? Then you can stay. We're going spoilers right now.
Dude, when freaking Genryu Usai finally cut loose,
Who's Genryu Usai?
head captain.
Oh, that's his name. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yes. Yeah, we
Genryu
gotta
Usai.
talk about this. You're right.
Dude, when he finally... Now, you haven't even seen him cut loose in the original anime, and he barely cuts loose in that.
I remember he did something in the Aizen arc.
He does, but he doesn't get to shine.
Okay, I remember seeing his fire powers and stuff in the Aizen arc.
Yeah, you
Something
get to see a
happened.
taste, but then his powers get nullified or something. I can't remember.
Lame.
But this 1,000 Year Blood War arc, and this episode, and I'm pretty sure the next episode...
The next episode's called Fire, so I'm sure it's gonna be all him.
Oh, yes.
That we get that tomorrow.
This is what I've been waiting. This is honestly, the stuff with him that you're about to see is probably in the top 5 of my favorite moments in all of Bleach.
Really.
Top 10. We'll say top 10. I won't go top 5.
I mean, I'm hyped, dude. I'm really
It's-
hyped.
When because you spend, if you watch Bleach all the way through, he's there always.
Yeah.
Like, but you never see him again. A little bit during the Aizen arc, but this is the arc when you get to see him finally just cut loose, and everybody, even the people on his side, are like, "We need to get the hell out of here."
But I did have one problem with him.
Okay.
He cut loose, right? And he went crazy. And he's like just when he like melted that dude.
That's just his Shikai,
what's his
by the way.
face? What's his guy's? The Bankai of the other guy. I can't remember his
Oh,
name.
this
This is a big problem with me with Bleach. I can't remember everybody's names.
Sasuke.
Yeah, when he used his Bankai, and he's like, it's weak, whatever. He melted his face off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
That's why he was. Oh,
but I was so hyped about that. But it made me kind of like, what the F, dude? Like, so many people just died. You couldn't have done something sooner. He was just standing there watching everybody die.
you'll see.
Like, bro.
He's too strong.
So there's a reason he didn't. Because I'm just like,
He doesn't cut loose very often for a reason.
I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, Ichigo was going around like trashing the Soul Society and Soul Society art. He didn't do anything then. Aizen like went crazy. He didn't do anything then.
If it's kind of a writing block situation. If Kubo had intended for it, he could have just had the head captain just end it all.
That's what I'm seeing. It's like, why did he not do anything before?
But they mention it in the manga a little bit, where he doesn't like to get in on the fight because he doesn't feel like he should have to fight. Not because of being lazy. He doesn't want any of these super strong people who should be able to handle just about anything rely on him.
I guess it makes sense.
He's the old guy. You should be able to. So he only comes in when it's necessary. You should be able to handle this on your. He even says that. Shame on you, children, making your head captain fight a battle.
I mean, it makes sense, but I also feel like it's Kubo just trying to be like, this is why
He wrote himself into a corner.
Yeah, because I mean,
which he does a lot.
After the first guy died, when the Quincy's came, I feel like he should have been out there. Like when they came back, he shouldn't have been. He stood there for so long in his little office area or whatever it was, like watching out over the Soul Society, and like so many people are just getting slaughtered. I'm like, bro, come on, do something.
But
it's cool though. It's cool. I'm very excited for the next episode.
I'm telling you, and just that fire, that's just his Shikai.
Are we gonna see his Bankai? Of course we are. We're gonna see it.
I've told you in a past episode. I've told you what his Bankai is.
I forgot.
Good.
I'm glad.
It's incredible. It's the most it's the scariest of any Bankai you'll ever see.
I'm hyped about it.
It's so cool. I'm excited for tomorrow.
Is that it for spoilers?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah, Bleach, awesome. I'm excited about tomorrow.
Episode 6, baby.
I'm a little split because it's hard for me to pick which show is my show of the season, Bleach or Chainsaw Man. At first, I was like Bleach for sure when I saw those first 2 episodes of Chainsaw Man, but now I'm like, God. And then I'm also watching Gundam. You haven't started it yet, right?
I forgot there's a new Gundam show. Is it good?
I really like it. I'm not caught up on episode 4.
It's the one with the female pilot, right?
Yep.
Yeah, because that's different. You don't normally have a female as the lead.
Chris and I both are really into it. Like, we were surprised how into it we got.
Now, is it... You probably don't know. I haven't been
know.
caught up, so you don't know if it's a separate...
No, I know nothing. Everything I know is contained directly with this one show. That's it.
Do they ever say UC or Universal Century at all?
I've never heard anything like that.
So it's probably not the Universal Century timeline.
I have no clue.
See, Gundam's a lot like Fate and what that other show, Ava, that we were talking about, where it's the timelines are... It's not that there's timelines, it's just there's the main timeline and then a bunch of other shows that have nothing to do with that main timeline.
Right. Yeah, but all in all, I think this was a good season for me to come back to anime on.
I think
it had been
so,
long. I'm also reading a manga. I'm still way more into manga, to be honest. That's what I just want to find more and more manga to read.
Yeah.
And especially since I got the iPhone. I have a really good like manga reading app.
Okay.
That it's just got me like going through manga like crazy. But
reading it on your phone?
yeah, it's good. I mean, I prefer to read it on my Kindle, to be honest. But it's just so easy on the phone. I wish it was easier for me to get manga on the Kindle. I have to do like converting and do a bunch of crap.
I finally had to get a Samsung. Well, last year I got lucky when I paid my phone bill. They're like, you qualify for just one-time payment. You get a tablet for
Really?
$1. And I was like, for just
No
$1?
way.
Yeah, it was some kind of Christmas deal. And they're like, for $1, you get a tablet because of your plan. Sweet. All right. I'll take it.
So
But that's where they got me, because they added an extra phone to my plan.
That's what I was wondering. They're gonna add it's like
And
a
they
SIM
didn't-
card tablet.
And they didn't tell me that either, even though I asked.
I bet it was in the fine print.
No, I asked. I said, so this isn't another line, right? And they're like, nope, not another line, just a tablet. Cool.
Really?
Yep.
How much do you gotta pay each month?
Oh, luckily, When I switched, I didn't owe anything because
so
the tablet literally was basically free.
it's just yours now.
Yeah, it's mine.
So you're not paying right now. Okay,
Nope.
that's cool. So you read manga on there.
Yep, and it's really nice.
I would love to have something bigger than the phone. The phone has been fantastic for everything other than One Piece. I didn't realize because I've always read One Piece on a bigger device.
Mm-hmm.
One Piece is way more detailed than other manga. They put a lot on every page, like so many little panels, so much little dialogue. I'm zooming and going. I spend so long on one page with One Piece. Where other manga, I'll go through the page in like, I don't know, 10 seconds. Like sometimes it's that fast, but that never happens any of the One Piece pages.
One Piece, I can usually finish a chapter in about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, other manga, like if I'm reading through Claymore, I can bust through a chapter in like
Yeah.
less than 10 maybe.
Reading One Piece, I felt constrained. I was like, I feel like I need to go to the PC or something to read this.
Same thing happens with Naruto on the phone too. I
Oh,
feel
really?
Like. Yeah, because I tried to read Naruto on my phone once and couldn't do it.
The one I'm reading right now is called My Dearest Self with Malice Aforethought. I think that's how you say it. I really, really, really love it. It gives me major like Death Note vibes. It's super cool.
Is it the one with the guy who's got the skull deer?
No.
Okay.
No. The very quick, I don't want to spoil anything, but if anyone wants to read it, it's like thriller, realistic thriller, not like crazy anime, but the big twist in it is that the main character, and you learn this very, very quick. It is going to spoil a tiny, tiny bit for the first like 2 chapters.
Okay.
But the main character has a split personality, and he just finds out. So one of him's like a normal dude, and the other one's like, we don't know. I don't know what he is where I'm at right now. But they can't remember each other's. Like when the other one takes over, they can't remember what the other one did. So it's very interesting. It's keeping me going, but I can get through that really quick. That's what I'm saying.
I had started one. I need to catch up. I've only read the first like 3 or 4 chapters. It's on Viz, but it's called Aliens Area.
Oh, you mentioned it to me before.
It's pretty cool. I like the animation, the art style.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Ooh, cool. It's that's not Omnimon.
Undimon.
Not Omnimon. It's what's his name? Not Omnimon. Alphamon. That's Alphamon.
No way. His name's Alphamon.
Yeah, Omnimon. Well, because Omnimon is Omegamon, actually. He's Omegamon and then Alphamon, Alpha Omega.
I mean, it's cool, but I feel like the word alpha has been ruined for me now.
Why?
Because of the alpha male thing.
Oh.
Like, the word alpha is so cringy now.
Man.
But still, he's cool. Okay.
You're the one who got this. What is it on? That might not be Alphamon, actually. I could be cool. I could be way wrong on that.
If you guys were just listening, that was, we have, like, pictures that go behind us on a TV in the video version. That's what we were
Is this
looking at.
Junji Ito? Oh, no, I see. It's that one anime.
Tokyo Ghoul.
That sucked.
Is it
after a
not?
while.
Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, it's that anime that sucked.
I really want to read the manga someday. I heard it stayed good.
That's what I'd like to do as well.
Yeah, I just haven't got to it yet.
Though
There's too much.
the first season of that anime is so good, but then after that,
I don't know what happened.
we were like so hyped on season 2, and it was only like a year after. Like we didn't have to
Yeah.
wait very long, and then it just was.
Season 1 of Tokyo Ghoul, I think, had the most potential of most anime I've ever
Near
seen.
10 out of 10 quality.
For me, personally, it was a 10. Like, for me. But then season 2 was like a good 4. It was bad.
It had moments that were.
It
really
had
cool,
moments.
but
yeah.
that end was so. Especially when you got like 4 minutes of him just walking in the rain carrying a body.
Yeah, I didn't understand that choice. It felt again kind of like, not to the same degree, but the Evangelion effect of like, we want to make it like deep and artsy.
Mhm.
And it was cool, but it wasn't a finale to me.
No, because
Like-
that's what they're trying to do. And then it sucked, and then everyone was like, "Okay, well that was just that timeline. Then now here's Route A."
No, Route A was season 2.
Then what was season 2?
Route A was season 2. There wasn't one that was called season 2. Tokyo Ghoul Route A was the season 2.
Oh, then what was the next?
There
season?
was another one, but I can't remember.
Because it was like season 1, and they had the ending where he like gets kidnapped or something.
Tokyo Ghoul Re or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
I can't remember. You guys gotta let us know in the comments
It's been like 7 years.
if you made it this far. That's everything I want to talk about.
Yeah, same.
You're good.
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Well.
Oh, last thing, new edition, got Kazuki Odin.
Odin.
Is that what we're doing?
I guess. Odin. Yeah, if you can't see, he's up there. We got a little shelf up here that had an open spot. Dakota picked this up at the con.
Yeah, I got that at Yomicon.
Perfect addition.
And here I got my figure for your house.
Yeah, but if we ever move or anything happens, obviously Dakota will take this back.
Absolutely.
And if he really wanted to, he could take it every time and just bring it back.
No, I don't want to do that.
I figured you probably wouldn't want to.
No,
do
it's
that.
okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay, well that's it, guys.
All right, you're hosting, so lead them out. Which I noticed you closed your vlog this way too.
I did. When I was closing the vlog, I was like, "What do I say?" Because on We Wonder, we'd always say, "Keep wondering." So I'm very used to when I'm closing out a video having something to say, like "Keep wondering," and then you can close it out. I had nothing, so I was filming it, and I'm like, I didn't even write it down. There was no script for that closing part, and it just was like, "Stay nerdy." It worked.
It certainly did.
I don't know if I'm going to continue to use it or try to think of something else, but for that moment, it worked. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I don't know if this was episode 1 or 2. I need to look at this and see how it went. Whatever. Welcome to a podcast for nerds. If this is episode 1, thank you for joining us. And if you haven't seen the Yoma vlog, which we talked a lot about, you should check that out over on the Convention Reviews channel. Is there anything you want to plug or say right here at the end?
Oh, we don't have a recommendation. Do we have a recommendation?
I forgot we're supposed to do that.
Yeah. Do you have a recommendation you want to shout out?
Oh, right,
real quick?
because I'm hosting.
Yeah. It could be anything.
I want to recommend Chainsaw Man, but I feel like everyone knows about it already. So I'm going to recommend the manga that I'm reading, which I mentioned was My Dearest Self with Malice and Aforethought. I think that's how you say it. Aforethought?
Aforethought?
Malice and Aforethought mean, I think it's pronounced Aforethought. I've never listened to how to say it. It's
not
like
afterthought.
No, Afor. It's like the legal term for premeditated murder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So My Dearest Self with Malice and Aforethought.
Okay.
Check that out if you're into manga. There's 12 volumes. I'm only 4 in. At least for the first 4, I can highly recommend it. It's finished. That's why I read it. Actually, this was a recommendation from Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was recommending 8 manga that are finished that you can read that are really good.
Okay.
And it is seinen. It's a very seinen.
Okay. So it's violent.
NSFW. There's everything. Yeah, violence.
So don't read this
It's
at
not
work.
crazy over the top. You're not gonna. There are moments where it's crazy, but it's not one of those shock manga that's here's just a bunch of crazy stuff to freak you out. It's a real story. It's actually good, but do prepare for that if you don't want to see that. That's my recommendation. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy, my friends.